got to go find a card. How much do we throw in there? Where this could be a lot easier, they're actually giving you the out of just Venmoing them $40, whatever it is, and being done. But I don't like what it represents. I like the ease, but I don't like what it represents. And that was where the discussion went.
As I often do. Do we have to exercise any measure of caution? Did Sarah warn you, while she did not give away the identity of the inviters?
Sure.
Are we sure that they're not because they're going to be able to they're going to know if they put a Venmo code on their invites for their kids' graduation.
It's not the Big O, is it?
I believe. No, Big O doesn't have anybody graduating this year. And we wouldn't miss a Big O party. We don't miss those. You're going to see this more. This is going to be standard protocol, I do believe. I don't know if it should be, and that's another conversation. And we got into, whether or not we should get a dog, and then there's robot dogs that are out there that was brought up, and we should be. I'm not going down that road because I want to be mindful of your itchiness and our audience.
So
I want to be mindful
our audience.
on both.
Thank you. Yes, our audience. I think it's important to strike a balance. And when
agree.
And I was just having this conversation with someone who purchased an item from me on Facebook Marketplace, who's a big fan of the show. Also bought something from a guy on eBay who's a big fan of the show, which was wild. But he did say that he's like, I love Tausch's tangents. I said, and I would say this, I did say this behind your back. I'll say it to your face. I said, the dude's a genius. He is. He's as is the case with many geniuses. It can be difficult to deal with at times, but that doesn't change
and
the
fairness,
fact that
you're no walk in the park either. Just in fairness, so continue.
And here's the thing about being together for this long. I knew that was coming before you said it. But he did say that there are times where I would like a little more Packers mixed in.
That's fair.
And
I
that's
think
all.
that is
that's
a fair criticism.
Yeah, sure. So
Totally
this,
fair.
on the other hand, if this was a pool, I mean, I wouldn't dive in because I'm not really a very strong swimmer, but I would get in the pool. I am in the pool. I would go all the way up to my neck in this pool because this, I instantly texted you and said, IPT. And then I, in Tausch fashion, came up with what I thought was a sage alternative where you're still asking for money, but it's got a little more of a educational bent. So we will put this on Twitter now. I think that will be up and running here momentarily. But I am curious, since you were discussing this with your group of friends at their lake house and with Sarah, Sarah's kind of the moral compass of this show. Like, if I want to know if we're going too far one way or the other, I check in with Sarah.
She does have a good balance about her.
Yeah. Where did she fall on this before we move forward? Because my knee-jerk reaction is IPT, and I don't actually respect it like you do. That feels I don't want to get an invoice along with my invite.
But it's not an invoice, and I think Sarah kind of went through a similar thought process that I did. Now, in fairness, again, I would not have known that this even existed because
you don't check the mail.
We got this fancy new calendar that has got everything on it, and it annoys me.
Oh,
but
is it one of those electronic deals that's on the wall?
Yeah, I'm not going to give it I'm not going to advertise for it.
I kind of wanted to get one of those.
Cream.
You don't like it?
4 to 5 p.m. party.
Well, that's the Tausch calendar.
No, she actually had put in whose party it is and what time it's at, and so that is all good. So I would not have known about the Venmo piece to this.
Okay.
And I do believe, as we were talking, I think Sarah had, and if she's listening today, she'll respond. I feel fairly confident. I think she had similar thoughts as what we did last night was That is really rude. I don't like it. It's super unrelationshipy.
Transactional.
But I think it's easier on the person, too. So while I don't like the concept of it, the ease of doing something is a lot nicer than having to go get a card and then write something, basically, congrats, hope you use this in a good way, or whatever you put down on the card. This way, it is just a Venmo with a note to say, happy graduation. That's really what, and then the question is, if you Venmo said person, do they send you a Venmo back of thank you, or do they have to still send a thank you card? Like, that is where I'm not 100% sure. I still would like a thank you card back because I know.
Like handwritten through the mail?
Yep. So you're making it easier. We're not coming like Jesse. We're not going to go there and wolf down food and ask for leftovers to take home. So there's no expense to you. It's not a shot at you. It's just reality. That happens to you a lot. And so you're doing that, but I still want a handwritten thank you card back if I do make a donation to your college fund or whatever it's going to end up being. Is that fair?
First of all, the handwritten thank you card is, we still abide by that as best we can. Now, I have taken a little bit of a twist and had the girls write handwritten cards and then scan them in and emailed them to people because, again, I understand, but I'm trying to be agile in a new era. But I believe in those as well. I don't want to get hung up on how to thank someone for asking me for money via Venmo. Like, you know, I sell a toy mailbox on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody Venmos me. That's transactional. You invite me to your party and deliver the
you don't want to go, but this is the tough part because I think they know you can't go or don't want to go, and you don't want to go. I would bet most of the time you, knowing how you operate, especially if the girls have anything to it, like if they're going to go catch butterflies in the park, you're going to probably say, no, I got to go watch my kids catch butterflies. It's not a shot. It's just reality.
No, okay,
that's reality.
So
you're not going to go to
at two people and then told them it wasn't a shot.
Well, because it's not. I could see you guys on camera grimace when I'm not even looking for you to grimace.
Butterflies in the park.
Jason, if your daughter said, hey, Dad, let's go catch butterflies in the park, and Stewie's got a graduation party over in Ashwaubenon, you ain't going to Stewie, and you don't barely know Stewie, and he gave you a Venmo option, you're going to go catch butterflies in the park with your girls. Like, who are we kidding here?
I am just going to say this. If you send me an invite and I'm not attending your party, I'm not sending you a check in the mail. If you send me an invite and it has a Venmo scan code on it, I'm not donating to your cause. I'm not. I find that presumptuous and obnoxious. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
We will not be doing that when the girls graduate from high school. I can 100% Homer True guarantee we will not put a Venmo on our graduation invitations. Period. Finn.
Wow.
Would you do that? Would you do not forget about your
I'm not
NFL
going to watch
career.
Butterflies. No, I'm not watching butterfly pickup.
No, you also won't get a dog because you're a kind of
it might be this robotic dog thing. I'm not going to go into
getting
it.
A dog.
Kind of an interesting.
You're not
kind of an
getting a
interesting
robot
mix.
dog.
I'm not saying I am, but I'm
poops
saying
lug
it was
nuts.
really interesting when the notion got brought up.
Okay. So where did you ultimately fall on this? Are you sending money via Venmo to these people?
It's a great question. I have to find out who they are, first off.
Well, doesn't Sarah
I have
handle
to
this
find
anyway?
She does, and typically I don't even, like, if we can't go, I don't even really know. She is great at handling that. In this case, because it is new, I am guessing that we will have some conversation about what we will do. I disagree. I think if you have no relationship at all with the people, I get it, but then you're not going to get an invite. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not going to invite random people out of the blue for no reason.
Other than to make money.
They're not.
It's a Ponzi scheme. Jesse, how did you respond to this when Tausch asked it?
I think it's actually a courtesy to the guests to provide the Venmo QR code.
I think there's people that are going to think this.
I am in favor of it.
Tell me more.
It's a new world. Kids these days, whether you're graduating high school, college, they don't want to get a check or cash and run to the bank and put it in. Like, that people don't want to do that anymore. They want to be able to do it as easy as possible.
Hey,
and so,
Jesse.
Yes.
UW Credit Union has a deal. You don't have to do any of that.
Understand.
Boom, boom.
And Associated Bank does as well. We have a couple of great and all great banks who are part of this show have options where you can do
this
that.
This isn't 1983 when you got to get in your car and drive 25 miles and sign.
And just take a picture of the check. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Jesse. You know better
But also,
than that. Continue.
With weddings, with graduations, with any other bridal showers. We just saw a text from Tammy and Slinger on the Carbless Talking text line. Bridal showers, any type of event where you want to provide some type of payment. I'm sure this happens with like confirmation parties and other things like that too. There's always these hoops of how much do we give and how do you spell the name correctly? The Mr. and Mrs. Whatever the new name is when you're getting married. Do you want to give the new name, the old name? I think this is a very easy way to just say, boom, boom, there it is. You can still provide a card without any cash or check inside of it. And you could say, like, it's just
that's not convenient,
It's a super convenient way to provide the Venmo QR code for anybody to have. Like, I saw in a church bulletin a few weeks back, they had a Venmo for an offering. Like, instead of putting the thing in the dish when they pass it, you could just Venmo the church for an offering. Like, this is happening everywhere. Venmo's taking over.
Okay.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Is this IPT or convenient? I understand Jesse's point. My response... And again, I don't know because I have not had to ask or do one of these graduation invitations. And Jesse didn't know what this is because he doesn't have kids. There are 529 accounts, which are college funds. I thought you could split the difference and there could be the opportunity to donate directly to the college fund as opposed to the Venmo.
The human fund. Just do it to the human fund.
So then Sydney can go spend it on lotion or something. So I'm open to being convinced that I am just a dinosaur who has not kept up with the changing social landscape and the technology piece of that. I am open to that possibility. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We'll get to your responses to this after Tausch tells us about Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
There is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now. Graduation season, wedding season. If you're looking to host these parties, you want to make sure your windows and doors are tight and everything's great. You're looking to really, get out and get something memorable to your graduates. Get them some new windows and doors because Pella's offering up to 6 years and you don't have any financing, 0%. Set up your free in-home consultation and you commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations that can turn it into a reality. Again, 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends at the end of May, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. We'll get your thoughts on this, and we'll get to the Packers as well. Coming up on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
They actually did it.
For the first time since 2002.
The Green and Gold have drafted their next playmaker.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Does Jordan Love now have his number one target?
Touchdown! Matthew Golden!
React to the pick right here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Ever notice how wine enthusiasts often speak a completely different language? And while that language may technically be English, to most people it's anything but. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we stock over 8,000 varieties of wine and speak many dialects of wine English to help everyone, from the wine novice to the master sommelier. So if you need an expert recommendation for wine, or maybe you know what you want and simply need help locating it, our experienced staff has got your back. No matter the budget, occasion, or your level of wine expertise, Discount Liquor will make you feel at home. Discount Liquor, unmatched selection, everyday low prices, a helpful staff, and 2 convenient locations. In Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount liquor.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
All across Wisconsin, destination marketing organizations are working to ensure that tourism in our state and your local community is stronger than ever. Their work to drive visitation and enhance the visitor experience not only encourages travelers to discover our great state, it bolsters the economy, supports jobs, and it improves the quality of life for all Wisconsin residents. To learn more about what these great organizations are doing, visit destinationswisconsin.com. Sponsored by Destinations Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Chevrolet, they don't always run and the radio on different times.
The question is in the field, both in poll form and with a link to both of our YouTube channels and the video on Twitter. If you received a high school graduation invitation that included a Venmo QR code to give the grad a monetary gift, Would you find that IPT, in poor taste for those that are not familiar with our lexicon, or convenient? And apparently there's a flying money emoji that I've discovered, which I guess is like transferring money. Woo! 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. From the Carbless Talk and Text line, Jake in McGuanago. I'm 37 and find the whole Venmo thing ridiculous in general. The fact they ask like that, I'd be less likely to give them anything at all. And thank you cards are always nice and should be done. I agree with everything Jake said, and Jake's not nearly as old as I am. But maybe Jake's an old soul. My question for you is, in general, before we get to calls, if someone invites you to something that you are not attending, what percentage of the time, graduation party, confirmation, baptism, shower, wedding, what percentage of those events do you send some sort of monetary or tangible gift to that person if you are not going? Because I'm going to admit, I'm not very good at that.
I would say, we'd have to ask Sarah on that, but I'd say it's pretty high.
Yeah.
If you just can't make it, you still want to celebrate and you want to help. You get invited. That means there's something there. Okay, there's something there. So whether it's your best buddy and you're not going to miss it for the world, or it's something else, time is always the most valuable asset as you get older, and you know that. Throwing a little cash at somebody just to say, "Hey, man, kudos to you, congrats." I think that's a nice gesture, but I'd much rather you not bring anything and just show up for a couple hours. That would be what I'd prefer. It'd be great if you did both. That would be fine too. But I would bet that when that happens, I would venture to say we're pretty high in the percentage we still do something. I don't know to what degree, but we do something.
Kelly on Twitter, I guess it's the expectation of the money that gets to me, but maybe I'm just old. That is exactly fits what I am grappling with. Maybe I'm just a dinosaur. Because there is the unspoken expectation when you get invited to a graduation party that you are going to give money, or to a wedding or whatever it is. There's also...
But I think a lot of that is, like Jesse's wedding, did you give Jesse any money?
No, I gave him a gift.
Okay. Was it a poster?
No, they were all out of those.
Was it a Hansel and Gretel?
They're very hard to find. But Jesse made a great point last night, and then we'll get to calls. But I think when Jesse makes a great point, it should be celebrated. Jesse, what was your point comparing this to a wedding?
I don't even need to make it. Lynn in St. Peter just texted it in. I think providing a Venmo link is similar to giving a gift registry link. So we were talking with some people up north, and
hey, where is St. Peter? That's not Moscow, is it?
Not that I know of.
Can you do, since you can't do a pirate accent, can you do a Russian accent?
I don't think so.
Went on that Russian podcast a number of years ago. Yeah, like we found out there's a graduation party that has a registry for all the like dorm thing. It's a high school graduation, so all the things that the kid wants to have.
You can't do a registry for a grad party. You can't do it, man. Like, what are we doing here?
Then if you want to get a gift instead of just
like a Chevy,
you're gonna have Wilde digging through his basement, finding some moldy old floor mats to give to Cindy, who's going off to Og Hall up at Wisconsin. Like, what are we doing here?
First of all,
people are sending registries for grad parties?
The quality of my products is very high.
Cindy.
Ruth.
Oh boy, Wilde's got a hanger sale coming around 4th of July. Let's
got some camps to pay for.
If your goal is to be less transactional and you want a more thoughtful gift to give somebody that they're going to take, why not make it something they want and they have a registry in place and boom, hey, here you go. Here's the plastic compartment thing you want
Jesse,
for under your
you're
desk. Here's some sheets.
You're opening up a whole new can of worms here because you can't give used bed sheets to people as graduation party
No
gifts.
one's saying
I wouldn't
get some
Stop
new
going
sheets.
for the joke and let him speak.
I'm not going for a joke.
He
just said bed
used
sheets.
bed sheets.
Yeah, I got brand new bed
I don't
sheets
think you
when I went to
should.
college.
Hey,
That's on
Mr.
you, then.
Whatever that website is that you're schlepping stuff on, you're telling me
Poshmark,
that
eBay,
you're
Facebook Marketplace.
You won't look at it and say, well, these look pretty clean.
All right, first of all, I think
I'm gonna put these up and I'm gonna send them over to little Freddie, who's graduating from Green Bay Preble. I just don't think that should be part of your deal.
No. Jesse, I think, first of all, what you bring up is a great idea. We have done this before. You put together like a care package of fun things that they're going to need at college. I don't like to give cash in general because I don't feel like it's creative. So I like to come up with creative ideas. If someone is going off, say, to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, I put together a gift basket that has maybe even sheets or pillowcases. Yes, brand new, not used, and some other items, a gift card to the bookstore, that kind of stuff. So
I'm
yes,
sorry.
but
you
again,
shouldn't be picking
not all of us.
You shouldn't be picking out Freddie's bed sheet covers. I just don't think that's appropriate. I don't.
Okay, I think you're getting lost on the best.
No, I just don't think you should.
You don't have to pick it out when it's on the registry. It has exactly what Freddie
he's
wants.
looking through his boxes in the basement saying,
What happened to Cindy and Ruth? Where'd they go? 844-770-3776. Let's get to one call now before they really start piling up. 844.
Wait for Evan Cohen too.
Yes,
nothing
that's
new.
true too. I forgot about it. I forgot it's Tuesday. So we'll ask him.
Why
this
don't we
question.
just act like today's a Monday? Because it is in the grand.
Let's make Evan wait a little longer. Let's talk to John in DeForest. John, good morning. Thanks for holding on. IPT or convenient with the Venmo?
100% convenience.
How old are you?
38.
And
I don't know what Jake is doing at 37. So these are the kids that are on the
line,
fringe.
by the way.
They've maybe
Nicely.
been to the house before. They're not 100. You're not 100% sure who these kids are, but they're around. You know who they are. They're not the family friends. You got to get them something, and they get the invite. You're busy. You forget about it. Oh, I got to just get this gift. Quick Venmo. It's got your name on it. You put a little emoji. Done. The kids you know, you can go get them a little more of a thoughtful gift, something that they're going to have. You know them a little better. You know what to get them. 100% convenience.
Okay. We appreciate your position, and I am open to being convinced. As I said, I think he makes the little emojis that you add. I don't think that makes it any more special.
Nah, it does.
On Venmo,
I think it does too. I think it brings a smile to your face. I do.
Like, you just send me $10 or $10 with a pizza emoji. I'm like, oh yeah, that brings back memories when we shared that pizza.
So when I pay the bug guy who sprays for our bugs, and I put the 3 bugs, you think he appreciates that more with all the little bug emojis?
Give him a little ant next to it.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I have to pay him right now, so I'll do that. And then I'll also invite him to Sydney's 8th grade graduation and send him my Venmo code.
Give him a little ant and a skull next to it. He'll appreciate it.
What if he sent you one free
I would take that, by
art?
the way. I'd
There
be
you
totally
go.
on board with that.
That seems like it could be a win-win for everybody.
Well, he's a good dude, and we appreciate his work, just like we appreciate Evan Cohen, who's going to join us next. After I remind you, since we're talking about money, hey, if you're unhappy with your bank, maybe they don't make it easy for you to deposit those checks that you'd rather get via Venmo. Well, Associated Bank makes it extremely convenient. They've got the Associated Bank app, which allows you to directly deposit those checks without having to go to the bank. Or you could go, I like going to the bank personally, but again, we've established I'm old. All I know is I love Associated Bank. They've been a partner of ours from the very beginning of this show, and they have all the great customer service awards to prove how good they are. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Evan Cohen joins us next. We'll ask him about this IPT question. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 6-tool Power Tool Combo Kit, now at $199. No matter what the project is, Craftsman's high-quality, high-performance products empower you to build on. Stop by your nearest Lowe's store and check out the full line of Craftsman tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
If you have a lot of shopping to do for summer, then you're actually in luck. Because at Macy's, the latest designer trends are here now. From swim and sandals to match sets and linen suits, all for 20% off. But get this, spend $100 and get 25% off. Spend $200 and get 30% off. 30%. So the bigger your summer, the better. Because the more you buy, the more you save. But hurry, it all starts Thursday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Brewers fans, this is your chance for you and your crew to cheer on our crew while they're on the road this summer. Visit brewers.com/ExploreMN to enter for your chance to win Game Day Getaway Sweepstakes. Presented by Explore Minnesota. One lucky winner will receive 4 tickets to the games on July 21st and 22nd in Minneapolis, 2 nights of hotel accommodations, and a $1,500 Visa gift card. Don't wait, the sweepstakes ends May 29th. No purchase necessary. See brewers.com/ExploreMN for official rules.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Hey, I'm Mike with Infinity Exteriors. Over 25,000 homes across Wisconsin were hit hard by this most recent storm. And like clockwork, out-of-town roofers are already flooding in and then disappearing the moment the job's done. Choose local. We live here, we work here, and we stand behind every roof we install. Since 1997, Infinity Exteriors has helped more than 30,000 homeowners protect their homes and their peace of mind with no hidden costs, no fine print, and no confusion. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
We've kept Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike waiting long enough, but let's make him wait another minute. Tausch, how do you predict Evan will vote on this very, very, very good question? You guys are friends.
Transactional.
Allegedly.
He'll be transactional.
So he's on board. He's appreciating the Venmo QR code.
He
All right,
will
let's
like
find
the
out.
ease of he'll like the ease of this.
All right.
I guess.
Well, let's find out. We welcome him in. Maybe we'll talk some sports as well. From Unsportsmanlike, it is Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Hey, guys. Do we believe that Jason forgot it was Tuesday, or Jason wanted to sign up for his most favorite thing in the world, which is less time with me?
No, I've forgotten it was Tuesday twice, and I know you love that storyline, but I was against this when Tausch suggested it, and I actually enjoy it most of the time.
Oh, wow.
Well, Jason and I were texting last week as initiated by me, just the two of us. And I thought there were some interesting things back and forth, and so I think we're making good progress here.
I appreciate that. I'll send you my Venmo code.
Yeah, Jesse was filling me in quickly on the bit here. So what's going on? Give me some details.
Tausch, this is your story. You do it.
Oh, Jason. All right, so Evco, as your kids are getting older, Jason, all of our kids are getting older. Graduation parties are coming, and they're coming in more numbers than in the past, and there's a new era. It used to be you'd get the invite, you could make it, you can't make it, you're going to send a card regardless. Well, we received one, and Sarah wisely didn't tell me who sent it, with just a straight-up Venmo link on it. And I sent that over to the boys last night, and it spurred some pretty good conversation this morning. I've kind of went back and forth on how I felt about it. I didn't like it. I don't like it still. What say you, Evan Cohen?
Yeah, so I think there is going to be a catch to this. And I think as I reason it out, maybe you'll agree. Tausch, I don't want to talk about your personal finances, but let's do it this way. The assumption would be that someone as smart and shrewd as you are, that played a decade in the NFL, would not be looking for handouts. So maybe if your kids attach the Venmo to the graduation party invitation, it would come off like, really? They're going to ask us to pay for this? The guy played a decade in the NFL, and now he's a huge radio show, in essence, TV show on ESPN Wisconsin, right? That may come off the wrong way. But if average everyday person is saying, you know what, we're going to spend some money for our child to have a graduation party because we want to celebrate them, but we kind of need to make some of the money back, I don't blame them. I think it's like if you're the person in the community that has a couple of bucks, you can't ask for the money back. If you don't, you can. How about that?
Well, so I'm not even the money part of it. It's more the, here you go, I don't really care if you come. That is more what I was thinking. And then the ease of paying someone rather than having to go get a card, write a note, and figure out, okay, what are we putting in there, $50? What is it going to be? I didn't look at it. I think everybody that goes to a graduation party wants to support the kid. It's not really about the parents. This is about the kids. But when you get this, I think the question was...
No, Tausch, you're right. You're right. I was just saying, in general, if the Tauschers put the QR code, I'd rip them. If the Tauschers had a graduation party and your kid's friends brought a gift, totally fine. But when you're putting the QR code, you are kind of suggesting how you want the gift to come your way, right?
Sure.
It's not okay, the Wildes put a QR code. Well, you know what? Jason, for his daughters, is looking for them to have a couple of extra bucks for a college fund. Okay, but if I wanted to get them something like if I wanted to get a Sabrina Ionescu framed autographed picture, I guarantee his kids would love that. I'm saying I guarantee the girls would love that, but that's not what the Wildes are asking for if they QR code the invite. Right?
So you have always said you don't love the Christmas cards or the updates on families. You are anti that. What happens in 4 years when Max graduates high school and I send Evan Cohen and his family, who live, Lord knows where you'll live at that point, I send you a graduation invite to Max's party. What are you thinking? You thinking he wants me to send him some bucks? Or are you thinking, boy, Tausch, that's nice. I appreciate you doing that. How would you even interpret that from your perspective?
Okay, that's a good one. If you're sending someone that's your friend out of state a graduation party invite, you know they're not going to go. So you're only sending it for the gift. I mean, that's the reality. You're sending it because you're assuming that I have a couple of extra bucks to spare. I'm not saying I do. You're assuming that. And you know, we should invite them because they'll send a good gift knowing they'll never show up for it. It's the perfect, like, there is such a strategy around invites, now QR codes, suggested gifts, oh, no gifts, please, which means give a gift. There's so many strategies on that. I guess you could say the QR code, if you really want to boil it down, is someone saying, I don't want to pay for this party. I want to be neutraled out, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to give my kid a gift. That's what it is.
Jason?
I hadn't thought of it in those terms. I am curious because you now have both you've kind of danced around this subject. I didn't want to ask this. Is this a former player that you played with in the league? You don't know, so I'm not really. This is a hypothetical question. I'm not asking you personally to out them.
Wait, you were invited, Tausch, or your kids were invited to this graduation party?
No, we were invited to a graduation party out of town.
The four of you?
Very similar to us sending you a graduation announcement that Max is graduating, blah, blah, blah.
That is, you can't read between the lines. That is, he's going to send a good gift. Let's invite him. That is a credit for the invite, good gift invite.
You think so?
What are you, an idiot? How do you not figure that? Oh, my God.
Well, hey, Evan, hold up a second.
Yeah.
I invited you and your wife to a really nice concert in a couple weeks. I had no ulterior.
I thought you were joking.
Oh, can I take his
spot
spot at the
You thought I
Killers?
was joking. I sent you a note saying, hey, got tickets. Can you make it?
You want to get real?
Hey, just hold up a second. Jason, hold up 1 second. Jason, is this a joke when I sent Evan a note said, hey, got 2 extra tickets for the Killers. Love for you to join us. Let me know if you can make it. That's what I said.
That's not a joke.
Is that a joke?
I can't believe he took that as a joke. You guys both love the Killers. You're good friends.
Yes.
Unlike us.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Okay, couple of things on this. I believe we are good friends, but I would say within the last 2 months, there was a moment where I thought that friendship was jeopardized. And I reached out to Tausch to kind of clarify a couple of things, and he never responded. So I thought things were kind of rocky, if I'm going to be honest.
But hold up a second. The Killers was. Hold up, Evan. The Killers was way before that. It was way before that.
No.
And you know that.
So
don't bring. Well, hold up. Don't bring this and that. This is not that.
Oh,
I'm talking Killers. You.
Now who needs a therapist?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I know.
No, Jesse, there is zero question in this scenario. I absolutely was in the wrong. There is no question. I did not think my wrong affected him. My guess is my wrong did not affect him, but he liked me thinking it did to kind of stick it to me. That would be my guess if I know Tausch.
That sounds like him.
When I crossed the line with him. Am I right, Tausch?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you if that wasn't the case. So yeah, I don't know how you've gotten so soft. Like, what's happened to you?
He's turning into me.
I was always soft.
Is it possible you are turning into Wilde? You're not coming to your favorite concert, your favorite band. You're all set up, and you're not going to come.
I can't.
And you think
I told you that.
Yeah. All right. So where are we coming down? Before we move on? Where are we coming down on this whole? So where are we at with this, Jason?
Can I just give you my final answer? The more details we are getting, the more details we are getting, because Jason, I think we're learning more details. The more details we're getting, I believe said person, whomever she or he is, invited out-of-town Tauschers to a graduation party simply out of the assumption he has money, they have money, they will send a good gift. That's my assumption. Hence the QR code.
Maybe.
Makes it easy, clean, boom, boom, boom.
But I think this is going to be more standard down the road. I think this is going to be more standard as we keep going.
Jason Wilde,
in this technological.
If you had a graduation party for your daughters, would you QR code the invite? Now knowing how simple the refund in essence is, that the Wildes spend, Jason and Paula say, you know what? We're going to go all out. I'm making up a number. We're going to spend $1,000 on a graduation party. But we know if we invite 50 people to this, we may make that money back and some. Will you consider QR coding it moving forward, Will?
No, I will
you
not.
Can sell hangers there. No. You will not QR code it.
I will not do it.
Is it because, again, not getting in your finances, you work hard to make a good living, and you feel like we should be down 1,000 versus evening out based on the hard work that we put in to make money?
Oh, great.
No, I am appreciative of my compensation of what I do. That said, I wouldn't say that I'm living on easy street necessarily. It's not because
got a pool.
I don't have a pool. We don't have a pool.
Wow, you got a pool, Wilde. Wow.
I am uncomfortable.
I'm a lawn guy.
I'm not very good at asking for money back when people when we pool our resources and I pay for something, then you got to pay a portion of it. I'm not good at asking for the money that they actually owe. So I don't like the presumptuousness of the QR code on the invite. So no, I can tell you I will not do it. Period.
All right.
Period, Finn.
Interesting.
All right, what do we got? Give us the latest nationally on Giannis here. I know that there's not been a ton. Sounds like there was a meeting. What's going to end up happening here, Mr. NBA?
Was that report? Was there a meeting? Because I'm unaware of that. If there was,
I thought it was last week. Wasn't there some? Nothing is really leaked out.
There was a report that it was going to be last week. I have not heard that there was a meeting.
All right. Well, you tell us what you think.
There may have been. I have no idea. My thought process has not changed. Until he actually asks out, I don't think he's going anywhere because I don't believe all of a sudden things are so much different than they've been in years past. I think he's been so loyal to the Bucks and so loyal to the great state of Wisconsin that until it happens, I believe he's going to stay. Now, I will tell you a theory that some have thrown out there. This is not reporting. This is Knicks fans. Like Nuno, who's our producer on our show, wants to believe this is a Knicks fan, that maybe the meeting happens between Giannis and the Bucks after the Knicks are eliminated, whenever that may be, because it could give him further clarity on next destination. In other words, if the Knicks win the title, which they're not going to, but if they win the title, he's like, oh, well, that was my destination. I can't go there. I can't join the title team. But if they lose in this round, which I think they will, well, there's room to grow for that team. I'm the way that they grow. So maybe and by the way, apply that if you want to any of the other teams that are still remaining. And then maybe he wants the full landscape of what's available to him, with the assumption, a la Kevin Durant in 2016, he's not going to join a title team.
Well, there you go.
Evan, so you're writing.
Jesse, can we clip that response from the guys and then replay it all day? That was really good, the response. Dead air. Really.
No.
Let's make sure we use that on KBN if we could. That was great. That was great audio.
Are we not allowed to think about something that gives us pause?
Not really.
I have not thought of that possibility.
Jesse, can you just figure out, go back, this may take you 3 weeks, but go back and find out how long that dead air lasted for. What would you say? Let's do a bet on this. Over, under 2.5 seconds of dead air.
Oh, I think it was
over 2
4 or 5 seconds.
Over?
Yeah.
It was not 4 or 5 seconds.
Jason, how long was it dead air? Be fair.
2.34 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
So are you writing? Wait a minute, because I do not want the Indiana Pacers in the finals.
Why is that?
Because I find them to be unlikable.
Really?
I do. Mm-hmm.
They're the biggest rival of the Bucks.
Interview was or something?
No, they're the biggest. No. He hates Reggie Miller.
I do not like Reggie Miller. That's true. That is true.
Okay.
And the Pacers are the Bucks' biggest rival as we sit here right now. Is that fair?
Okay. You know what? I stand corrected. Jason, I apologize. Go ahead.
So are you writing them off now?
The
Knicks?
Or the Knicks?
The Knicks.
Oh, yeah. Yes, but not as much as I'm writing off like the season's over. The Thunder are going to win the championship. Like, there is zero doubt in my mind they're going to win the championship. And I think that we get hung up on the laundry because, like, think about it. If they were wearing a Lakers, Celtics, or Warriors jersey, we'd all be saying the season's over. But because we're unfamiliar with this team, because it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, we just are ignoring it. And, like, the reality is, think about it this way. A completely healthy 68-win team with the MVP up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals with neither the 1 nor 2 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals left. Wouldn't we have already crowned that team if we had seen them do it before, if they had different uniforms?
Mm-hmm.
They are so obviously going to be the champ. And they are going to be the champ now, and there's a chance that they're going to be the champs later because they are insanely well built for the future. I mean, I'm not trying to end the conversation or make it a boring conversation, but, like, I brought this up on the show today. Think about it this way. This is from our era, the three of us, not Jesse as much, but the three of us. They were 4 wins away from the Bulls' 72. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
You think at any point when the Bulls had 72 wins, any of the three of us that all loved MJ are like, yeah, you know, I could see them losing in the playoffs. Like, what? What, are you crazy? We would count how many losses. It would be like over, under 1.5 for the entire postseason. And we would say, probably under. Like, that's how good this team has been. I've been late to the party on it. And, oh, by the way, you know, we talk about this with quarterbacks all the time in football, right? Once you're elite, once you're at that Favre or Rodgers level, you're judged by how many Super Bowl wins and how many MVPs you have, right? And, like, the number, I think, combined is 5. When you get to that 5 number, you're rarefied air, right? Which Rodgers has, 4 + 1, if I'm not mistaken. Favre has what? All in.
4, 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Okay. So I think 5, if you look at it historically, if you have 5 and MVPs and Super Bowls combined as a quarterback, you're on another level, right? You realize the 2018 NBA draft, all anyone talked about was Luka versus Trey. Shea was the 11th pick in the draft. He's going to likely have and he has an MVP. He's going to likely have an NBA championship and likely have a Finals MVP. And he only has 2 less first-team All-NBAs than Luka does. And Luka, rightfully so, is looked at as this unbelievable player. Shea's resume is better. Same draft.
And if he played for the Mavericks, they'd trade him. Evan, is it too late for you to make it to this Killers concert? Because if not, I might actually take up Tausch on those tickets that he offered you if they're still available.
You broke up on me. I'm sorry. Say that again, Jason.
I said, are you 100% out on the Killers at Summerfest? Because I might actually leave my basement if those tickets that were earmarked for you are still available.
I think I am 100% out. Not because I want to be, but because I have to be.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that your friendship is still intact.
The pause was 6.5 seconds long after further review.
My God.
It was that long?
That it was.
Yeah.
Tausch and I both made a noise.
Jesse,
I said,
play it back if you could. Jesse, play back like my last couple of words into the pause.
Let's check the replay.
He's not going to join a title team.
Well, there you go.
Wait a minute. That doesn't count? Evan, so you're right.
And there you go. That wasn't dead pause. That's got to be dead air.
There you go.
That is not
count as
That's not dead air. It's not dead air.
Wait a minute. I know. Wait,
That's
what
blasphemous.
day is today? Tuesday? All right, so I don't know if it's a caller day. But was that too long of dead air?
We already took a call.
That was way too long.
We already took a call. today. So it is Monday. It's a Tuesday, but we're playing it like a Monday, but it's a Wednesday. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what we're doing.
Thanks, Evan.
See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen. You can hear him every single day on Unsportsmanlike across ESPN Wisconsin and across ESPN Radio. You might think we're done with the 9 o'clock hour, but we're not. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Let me tease.
Sure, yes. Tease it. All right. Go ahead.
There is some interesting news breaking about a certain cornerback that the G&G, that us on this panel did not think was going to be back, and that news is breaking, and I think you're going to be incredibly intrigued to find out what it is. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Tausch mentioned a report from The Athletic and Matt Schneidman. Now, I feel like we've kind of felt that there's been back and forth. Goody actually said at the start of the offseason, way back in like March, that he's in contact weekly with John Thornton, who is Jaire Alexander's agent, trying to figure out what's best for Jaire and what's best for the Packers. So I think we feel like the contract talks have been ongoing. Yeah. But Matt reports.
I have to admit, the report is he's coming to camp or to OTAs and minicamp.
Let me just finish before you admit what you're going to admit to. The report is that there is an offer now on the table from the Packers on a restructured contract, and that Jaire, who has not been there for the offseason program thus far. Derek Ansley did mention last week that he stays in touch with him every day, but that Jaire Alexander intends to attend the mandatory minicamp, which starts on June 10th, even if the contract's not done. Tausch, what does this tell you?
I'm surprised, because when I look back in February, March, I thought there'd be no chance. I never put it at 0 because I'm not Homer. But I didn't feel like it. And I think the way everything kind of shook out, the Packers obviously picked up Hobbs in free agency and then didn't really dig too deep in the draft until, Micah Robinson at pick number 237. So when you start looking at all of that, they have young guys. I'll be fascinated to see what this contract looks like. How much of this is incentivized? How much is Jaire getting to walk through that door? I'm guessing it's not going to be nearly what he wants. I know that. It will be more of how much did the Packers go to kind of put an olive branch out to say, come on back in, Jaire. We still believe that you can play. Because it looked very, very doubtful that this was going to happen. And now it's starting to come to fruition that this is going to happen.
Within Matt's story, the Packers could still release Alexander before he shows if negotiations for a restructuring reach a dead end. Okay. So, again, I don't know. To me, the point you just made is the crucial piece here. And that is how much of his contract, his base salary for 2025 is $16.15 million. Okay? How much of that needs to be non-incentivized to make this something he's willing to do? Is that not the fair question here?
I think it's more how much of this is going to be non-incentivized for the Packers to make it palatable for them to let him come in. That's what I think this is going to look at. I think Jaire now, if you're already seeing he's going to report, the Packers aren't going to let him in the building if nothing has changed because of what we talked about.
Right.
With the drop in a plate on your toe and then that 16 becomes guaranteed. There's a lot of things. Well, you laugh, but that happens. It is, no, we can't do that until this happens. And guys I don't even want to get, there's stories that have been told over the years that whether or not you want to believe them or not, of getting hurt and being able to get an injury settlement and doing that and fighting through, because that is a part of the collective bargaining process. The Packers are going to, I would bet, I'll be shocked if it's more than, what is $6 million out of 16? What is that percentage?
I'm not sure. That's
all right. Whatever that is,
37.5%.
That's where I feel. What is it?
37.5%.
That's where I feel like the Packers are going to be. That's about where I think they'll go max as far as what they're going to pay him.
He's going to take a 63% pay cut to $6 million.
Because he can incentivize himself.
Right,
He'll be able to earn it all back.
It's still a pay cut. That
he's not coming in without a pay cut.
I understand. My question, and here's the other question I have, because again, I'm not an agent. I don't play hardball. Does saying that you're coming in regardless, because he is under contract right now,
forces their hand?
Does that force them to say, well, wait a minute, we don't want you out there and have you blow out your knee, so sorry, if you can't agree to this, we're going to have to cut you? Like, is that am I being obtuse? Am I being too grassy knoll here?
No, I don't know where Jaire's head's at. Like I said, after the draft and no trade, and nobody has really come to, because I think most teams view Jaire the same way the Packers do. Really good player, can't stay healthy. Can we count on him? That's the question marks. And with that, you're going to be more than happy to pay a guy if he's earning it. Sometimes you have to pay guys in hope. Well, the Packers paid Jaire. Now they control the cards, because they could say, well, we're not paying you 16. You don't want to go down to 6. You want to go to 12. We don't feel comfortable going to 12. Do I think it could end up somewhere between 8 and 10? That's the part nobody knows. But I don't know where Jaire is going to make 8 or 10 guaranteed right now. I don't know that many teams that are lining up saying, we need Jaire and here's $20 million guaranteed. That ain't going to happen either.
No,
and that's
you're right.
where I think both sides are trying to figure out what is going to be fair. And I think from the Packers standpoint, too, you don't want to beat him up so bad that he ain't interested.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the line Russ Bowlen. This is why Russ is so good at his job. I think he's figured that piece of it out, and he's going to throw enough there that I think Jaire will be engaged, and then it's, hey, man, if you go out and play good football for us, you're going to earn all of your money that you were supposed to. And hopefully Jaire looks at that and says, that's what I'm going to go do. Whether or not that happens, who knows?
Dream fearlessly, but insure carefully, just like they do at American Family Insurance.
And American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
One of the questions that I posed was, what is their cornerback group going to look like? Is Jaire Alexander going to be part of it or not? Sounds like we're closer to an answer. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour by discussing this further. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
The Bud Pavilion's free concert series Wednesday Night Live takes over State Fair Park this Wednesday with Rebel Grace. Gates open Wednesday night at 6. Live music starts at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. Enjoy Rebel Grace this Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion.
Hey, I'm buying a fixer-upper for my first home. Is that something you can help with?
Of course. We are here for all your construction needs at Professional Construction, Inc. With over 20 years of experience, our team will help from the design process through the finished product.
A living room with lime green and wood-paneled covered walls with shag carpets isn't quite working for me.
That's not quite my style either. But regardless, we are here to make your dreams a reality. Visit us at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. So let me ask you this, Tausch, with these developments with Jaire Alexander, again reported by The Athletic and Matt Schneidman. Let's say this falls apart. Okay? How good or nervous do you feel about the Packers' options at that position? Because they've got Keyshawn Nixon, who proclaimed himself CB1 capable. They went out and paid Nate Hobbs. I am a big fan of Carrington Valentine and believe he is...
Well, you said Hobbs from the film you watched is super physical, right? Is that what you said?
Just can't help yourself. Yeah.
Is that not what you said?
I did say he was physical.
Yeah.
And he had an interception in the one game I watched.
I think you said super physical.
Ultra physical, maybe.
No.
And then it's Kalen King. It's Micah Robinson. It is not a deep group. At the same time, I don't know if ESPN Bet or Hard Rock Casino Rockford were putting an over-under on the number of games Jaire would play in 2025. I don't know what that number would be either. 7.5? 6.5?
No, I think it's less. There is no way that anybody up there, including Jeff Hafley, is going to sit here and say, I am banking on number 23 to be an integral part of our defense.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter all the other stuff, because I think when and if you are doing that, you're going to be disappointed. So I think you have to look at this scenario and say, do you feel great about Green Bay's secondary as we sit here today with Jaire not being up at OTAs when they start this afternoon or this morning? You feel like you're okay because you saw how they finished the season. Do you feel awesome about Keyshawn lining up against Amon St. Brown or whomever else Detroit's going to put out there? I would say I would like those matchups if I'm the opposing team. And that is not a shot at Keyshawn. It just is what it is. So Jaire, obviously, if he can come back and if he can play anywhere close to where he was at his peak, that would be an awesome addition. But I am not there is no way anyone is banking on that. And I think while all the question marks are about the pass rush and everything else with this defense, I think that is a big question mark that still needs to be answered, because I think that position has been the microcosm of what we saw last year. When you're playing against, I don't want to say inferior talent, but when you're not playing the big boys, I thought everything held up fine. They had sacks. They were able to turn the football over. They did what you expect a championship-level defense to be. But when you faced a multitude of really good receivers, whether it was Minnesota, Detroit, or Philly, you didn't have the answers to those tests. And that's even with, I thought, the best performance against Philly's offense in the playoffs. You could say, well, the Rams had a beat. All right, I'm not going to fight you on that. But I can tell you this, I guarantee you, Jalen Hurts and that offense looked at it, and they were rusty, and Jalen had a concussion. There's a lot of other things that were in play. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee they're looking and say, boy, Green Bay gave us everything that we could handle on defense. But with all that said, that's when you have to measure up, is when you play those teams. And by the way, I'm going to put Tampa, I'm throwing Tampa in this big old pot of teams that can. I'm going to throw Washington in this big old pot. They're adding people. They're adding guys. Can you hold up as a secondary against not one, but two and maybe a really good tight end? Because that's the test that this group has to handle. And Jaire being back would really improve those odds of being able to do that. And without him, I would say that is the biggest question mark on the defensive side of the football.
I would agree, and I just go back to the conversation I had quite a while ago with someone who works in the building who kept emphasizing that the guy is still a good player, and that sounded to me like someone who, if we can mitigate our financial risk, I still like the idea of him on my football team. And I don't know from the fiscal perspective what his open market value is. Is he more valuable monetarily to the Packers than he would be if he went out on the market now and had all 31 other teams available to him to sign him? That's the question I have, because I am assuming that his agent has done some research on that, and the reason they are open to the restructured deal, even if it's, say it's your number, $6 million, and then the rest is incentivized, I have to think he knows his client's market and realizes it's not more than that.
So, Jason, did he get an opportunity to go and shop himself to teams when
Goody said no?
Or did they?
Goody said no. He said they don't do that. They don't give agents the freedom to shop their clients. Now, Goody has been talking to other teams all along, right? I mean, he flat out told us that he was open to trading him because they need to get something back for him if he wasn't going to be on the team helping them win games, because we've invested a lot in Jaire.
Right. So the thing was, nobody was going to give up a pick for someone that I think they thought that they would trade. And obviously now, the way this has played out, nobody felt strong enough to pay Jaire a big boy contract, or they would have given up a 5th or 6th round pick, which, by the way, would have gotten it done.
Right.
I think Goody would have been more than happy with a 5th or 6th round pick, especially if it was conditional. You know, that one would have been next year's draft, obviously, but that's where this thing all came. Nothing came to, and as I said after the draft when we had this discussion, sometimes humility will slap you in the face. And the opportunity that you think you're still a big blanket deal in the league, and then when 32 teams don't call you, you're kind of like, well, I'm retired. Well, no, the league retired you. You didn't really retire. That happens to most of us. This is more of a, man, I'm still the guy. And when nobody is willing to trade for you or pay you top dollar, you find out real quick, maybe I'm not the guy. And maybe I have to take a step back, take a look at the big picture, and understand I need to get back out on the field and prove that I'm still the guy. Even though in my heart of hearts, I know if I wasn't injured, I would be that guy. But you know what? The league, they don't care about all that. They care about what you do and what you can bring them. And if you can't overwhelmingly do that, it is always a prove-it year. This, while we've said it's a prove-it year for Jordan and all these other guys, this is one of those years where if it doesn't go well, this will be it for Jaire. You want to talk about a big boy prove-it year. Jaire signs for whatever he's going to sign for in Green Bay. If he's injured and doesn't play again a bunch, he's going to be donezo. And if he can go out and prove it and play well, he will probably get some sniffs from other teams that would be willing to pay him what he is going to want, or at least closer to what he wants than what he's going to be able to get out of Green Bay right now.
Well, the possibility of him coming back, I would think, would have Matt LaFleur, if it actually comes to fruition, toasting a Coors Light in his honor, saying, hey, our defense is better with this guy on our team.
Oh, I got to send Jesse. I got a beautiful picture with my Coors Light and maybe the most asymmetrical cloud cover I've ever seen. I'll send that over because you know it was Memorial Day.
Cloud cover.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Coors Light. Had a couple of those yesterday. Brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged. It was made to chill. Nothing better than a barbecue with asymmetrical clouds and in blue mountains on my cold Coors Light activated bottle and can. That's when I knew it was chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
they actually did it.
For the first time since 2002,
the Green and Gold have drafted their next playmaker.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Does Jordan Love now have his number one target?
Touchdown, Matthew Golden!
React to the pick right here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Brewers fans, this is your chance for you and your crew to cheer on our crew while they're on the road this summer. Visit brewers.com/ExploreMN to enter for your chance to win Game Day Getaway Sweepstakes. Presented by Explore Minnesota. One lucky winner will receive 4 tickets to the games on July 21st and 22nd in Minneapolis, 2 nights of hotel accommodations, and a $1,500 Visa gift card. Don't wait. The sweepstakes ends May 29th. No purchase necessary. See brewers.com/ExploreMN for official rules.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. Get Dad something he can really enjoy. Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. Order at Kringle.com and send Dad his favorite flavor, like their bourbon pecan. That's my favorite. To complete the gift, you can add a bag of gourmet coffee to your order, and you will be Dad's favorite child. Go to Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH and have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com or 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Chicago is up next on June 6th through the 8th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg Offices. One call, that's all.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Super intrigued by this part of Matt Steinman's story about him reporting to the mandatory minicamp on June 10th, and then these 3 words, if not before, and then the 7 more words after that, even if his contract situation isn't resolved.
Put a little pressure. Yep.
So
Get it moving.
And help me out because you're a player rep. If I show up, say I'm Jaire Alexander.
Hey, Jaire. Why didn't you give Wilde your phone number?
How you doing? I don't trust that weasel.
I get it.
You've been regretting it for 20 years. Hey, guys. It's great to be here. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'm ready to do some one-on-one reps against the kid, Matthew Gold, and I want to see what the kid's got. You, as the organization, cannot say, oh, no, sorry, we can't let you do that. Right? Like they could stall it by saying, hey, you got to go through some testing, we got to give you a physical. But help me understand, because this, I thought, this is really an interesting story by Matt Steinman. That, to me, out of everything else that he wrote, is what really got my antenna up. Because if the contract's not resolved, why would he come in? And even before the mandatory minicamp, why would he do that? Don't you think?
Well, it's easy why he would do it. He is trying to force the Packers' hand a little bit. And again, I just don't know how much there's going to be. I don't know what the difference is. I can assure you Jaire is going to want more than what Green Bay is offering in guarantees
I
with
agree.
this new contract. That
Yes,
I can
sir.
assure you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he can get it, I don't know. But the Packers cannot tell Jaire, you stay away. They can ask him and say, hey, this will help, until we figure this out. I believe that is what's happened probably since after the draft. And I think Jaire's probably like, yeah, I'll train down here. I'll go with X, wherever they were working out, and we'll do this. And all right, that's all great. Now it's getting to be that time. And I think Jaire is looking at it and saying, all right, it's not really moving in the direction I want, so I need to do something, or his team is saying we need to kind of push the ball a little bit here. let's get this thing, let's rock it a little bit, get this thing moving so that we'll come to a resolution one way or the other. The Packers can easily say, yeah, Jaire, you can come in, but you're not doing anything. Until this is resolved, players will hold in is kind of the new thing where, oh, my hammy's snug. I'm not doing anything. And in essence, what you're saying is till you get that deal done, old boy ain't doing nothing.
Right. This is going to be the opposite.
The Packers, this is oppo, which is weird. But you say, well, we're going to get the young guys reps. Nobody is owed any reps. You're owed, you can walk in the building, and then that's it. They can say you can't work out. They can't fine you. There's nothing else they can do. And you don't want that. The Packers don't want that. Jaire doesn't want that. Nobody wants that. So you come to a resolution, and I think with what Schneidman wrote there, what that is telling you is it's probably not progressing at the rate and what they're hoping for. So let's get it moving. And then we'll figure it out. And one way or the other, we'll find a resolution, and then we can move on with our lives.
So do you, and again, this is just purely conjecture, do you think Jaire wants to be a Packer? Because,
yes,
as Matt points out in his story, he's been working out with McKinney. There does seem to be some very positive things, regardless of how things played out with LaFleur's frustration with his injury, etc. There does seem to be, he likes the defensive coordinator. He gets along with his position coach. He's got friends on the team. It's a place he knows. Do you think he wants to stay if he's given his druthers?
Yes.
And then it's just a matter of what the number has to be for him and what the number has to be for the Packers for them both to feel good about it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we will see if that comes to fruition
I
or
don't
not.
necessarily think it's that Jaire is like just madly in love and wants to be back. I think it is a combination of I know the system, I like Halfley, I know I can play well here. They know me, they'll take care of me, and I don't think anybody else will give me any more money. So it's not just I love being a Packer. I can't imagine playing in another jersey. That's what will be said when and if this thing gets resolved. But this comes down to money. This comes down to understanding of where he's at in his career, and it comes down to opportunity. That's why this will, I think, end up working itself out.
John, via the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. It is amazing how much you guys talk about a guy who has played only half of the games that he's been under contract for. I don't understand. He's not that good. Jaire Alexander will be the last player cut by the Packers getting down to the 53-man roster.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I don't mind John getting after us a little bit. I think I don't agree with him.
I have a problem. His first sentence I agree with. It's a lot to talk about a guy that
amazing
in the last
is
60
amazing is a strong.
That's a little sarcastic.
Yeah,
John.
In the last.
Oh, you think it's amazing? How much?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I thought it was. God, it is amazing.
I don't think it's that. No.
I didn't understand how we were syllabalizing
They've played 68 games the last 4 years. Jaire Alexander has played in 34 of them, and he has missed 34 of them. It is exactly half.
Wow.
It's not a great ratio.
Yeah, I like that stat. I put that one together myself. But here's the issue that I have with John's text. He's not that good. No, that's not true. He's not that healthy. He's not that available. But he's not that good. It's just not accurate.
So here's where I will, ask John and you. He has not been the same player.
Has he broken down the film?
He has not been the same player as he was. He just has not been. Is he still a good player? Certainly.
Well, he said he's just not that good.
He's not as good as the contract that he got paid.
He got paid that contract after the shoulder injury. They paid him anyway.
I understand that, but Jason, is he as good as he was before that injury?
We're not paying you to tackle. We're paying you to cover, is what that message said.
No, you're paid.
No,
there's a new sheriff in town. This guy wants you tackling. You don't think Jeff Halfley wants his corners tackling? Come on. Has Jaire Alexander been as good after that injury as he is?
By the way,
the answer is
right.
the answer is no.
No,
he has not been.
He's not that good. Is not the same as he's not an all-pro.
But I think John's point, and again, I can't speak for John. John's point is this isn't when I'm talking Depoy in 20 and 21, and he's picking off Tom Blank and Brady in NFC Championship games. He ain't there anymore. He was paid on that, and the expectation he'd be better than that. That injury happened. He has the injury, and they're hoping that he regained that form. And with a very few exceptions, I don't know if he ever has. And I don't think that's unfair criticism. I think it's just the reality of where he's at because he hasn't been able to get into a rhythm either because he can't stay healthy. So that's why he's going to be taking a big-time haircut on his contract. And so I don't think John's criticism on that is criticism of us. I get it. I understand it. But if he comes back, if Jaire Alexander gets this contract worked out, and we'll tease this out, Jason. If he gets this contract worked out, $6 million with a chance to earn 10, is Jaire Alexander going to be lining up on whatever day in Sunday in September against
7th.
the Detroit Lions?
September 7th.
Is he going to be?
Don't tease us out. I got to tell you about Grubelov, so don't tease us out yet.
Will he be the DB1 on September 7th for the Green Bay Packers if this contract gets worked out in the next week?
Yeah. Yes, I believe he is.
Okay.
And
my point to John is that's why we're talking about it.
Well, and I get it. In fairness to John, he could get Josh Sitton, right? I mean, we did not see Josh Sitton getting cut in 2016. Maybe we saw it a little bit before it happened, but it's not like we went into training camp thinking Josh Sitton might get cut.
Correct.
Right?
We did not.
At the same time, to John's point about Ja not being any good anymore, if that was the case, they wouldn't be bothering to do this. They would have just cut his ass, and he'd be gone already. So that is evidence that they still think he can play. And I think that's important to know.
Would they be doing that if Kalen King just balled out the second half of last season?
No, they wouldn't, but he never even got off the practice squad. Like I understand. He was called up for a game and didn't even play.
I understand, but my point is that spot is still his if he goes out and earns it.
Yeah, agreed.
And to John's question about, whoa, you guys amazingly talk about this, because a DB1 on a defense that should be championship caliber is a big blanket deal to this team. That's why it's important.
In a division filled with really good wide receivers. All right, we'll continue this conversation, or maybe we'll shift gears. Want to remind you, you just said earned. The reputation that Gruber Law Offices has been earned in over 35 years. They win for their clients who have been injured in accidents. They do such a great job. And you want someone on your team that is going to fight for what you deserve if you've been injured. And that's exactly what they do. So go to the website, gruber-law.com, or make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball, as two of the game's youngest superstars square off. The first Friday game of June means Wisconsinites can grab half-off tickets to the Brewers series opener on the 6th, then score one of the top giveaways of the season, a Jack Centurio replica jersey presented by Chevrolet for the first 25,000 ticketed fans through the gates June 7th. Get seats at Brewers.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26th game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
To celebrate, baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend, I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
So this is one of the questions that I was posing that the Packers need to work their way through, and it starts today with the first of only 6 OTA practices. There's usually 9 plus a team outing, and we'll get to maybe the questions at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll play trivia next, but I am curious, Tausch, because this is what I led with in the story. Matt LaFleur has made it very clear that he thinks that with the early start to the season again, that means training camp's going to be early again. Last year, I think the first practice was like July 22nd. That he doesn't want to push the envelope and keep them for another week. So they will be done on June 12th, and then they'll report July 20th-ish. given that the first week was in the virtual realm, and then they're cutting them loose a week early. LaFleur said that 28 out of the 32 teams are following the same format. Is that enough work in the offseason, in your opinion, as a former player?
It has to be. It will be what it's going to be. And I think you're seeing more and more teams look at those first 3 or 4 regular season games, not from a preseason standpoint, but from you're still going to have some competition. I remember, I think it was New England in Belichick's last couple years, where they were still having open job opportunities for guys. You started to see Green Bay with some maybe more platooning than what we'd seen in the past. But with Sean Ryan and some of the other spots, you're seeing more guys. You don't get the same amount of work. And back at the golf outing last week, us old guys, I'm always amazed when you say that's the Packers' 14th and last padded practice of training camp, and I'm always just amazed. Like, I can't blank and believe that they've only had 14 padded practices during training camp. And this is not me being like over-exaggerator, dude. We would have 14 in a week of padded practices. In a week of training camp.
Mm-hmm.
What's right and what's wrong? I am all for player safety. I've abandoned that ship on some fronts because of the entertain me crowd, and that's the road that the union and the league has went. And I am going to jump in because I want to be entertained. But from a player standpoint, you want to be healthy, you want to be fresh, and I think most organizations now, especially with the investment level that they're doing, they're looking at it and saying, we're going to get more out of controlled scrimmages that you're seeing. I think Green Bay announced, or they will be announcing, they're going to have joint practices with 2 of their 3 preseason opponents. When you do that, you're getting some more work. You're doing it. They're just going to be more selective with what they're doing, and it's going to be in a smaller time frame, less contact, less hitting. But I do think that makes for shoddier football, especially earlier in the season.
Let's play some trivia. Then we'll get to our questions.
What do you think?
What
do you think? Is it enough?
I think 6 practices is not enough. And I think the way the league has trended away from off-season work in general is bad for player development. And
I agree.
I think that first of all, I think the NFLPA has focused more on getting guys longer vacations than they have on more pertinent issues, but that's another story for another day. I think, especially for teams like the Packers.
Or, Jason, or as you just put that, or the league is giving you that. And
right,
you can
so they don't have to give you meaningful
column.
stuff. Right, exactly.
You're trying to throw some bones so that the people can say you're winning on some fronts, because I'm guessing, and just reading the tea leaves, as this is going to 18 games, listening to what Roger Goodell had to say at his owners' meetings last week, and now he's getting, even though he said he was retiring after this contract, he's going to get another big fat one. You're going to see a pretty good split. The owners are looking at it saying, we're paying players too much. And whether the union goes back and says, well, that's just the way it's going to be, we're never going to win. I'm telling you, you're not going to win the battle. We've seen it. It's unfolded. How bad is it going to get? Because the owners will take back some percentage of pie of this big CBA, the next CBA. And unfortunately, that is going to happen.
And I would also argue that players that are young you're making decisions on your roster ahead of time. There aren't the same number of competitions in training camp like there used to be. Like, you have to make
Zach
decisions.
Tom's in a battle.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It'll be interesting to see how much work they get done, because if you only got 6 practices plus 2 for the mini camp, maybe 3, I don't know, maybe they'll go an extra.
And by the way, what should happen, but it won't, is first and second year players should probably do 2 weeks of training camp before veterans come. Because I can assure you, when I was a rookie or second year player, give me every rep I can get.
Right, exactly.
All these guys want to showcase. Old salty vets don't want to be there. So it's pretty easy to say, year 3 and below, you guys, unless exempted, Come on in for 2 weeks. Hey, you know what? You'll probably even open up all the practices to the fans. They'll love it. Coaches will love it because they want to help develop their players. This is something, and I would bet the union would be more than happy to do this. The players would, and the owners would say, well, we said you could take more time. All right, for that, we're going to take one more percentage piece of that pie. We want some of that good blueberry pie. And that's got that one little slice of blueberry pie is worth $3-4 billion though now.
Great.
It's like a Maine pie. It's like when you go up to Acadia, you're getting that expensive blueberry pie.
And then you need a Venmo to pay for it. Jesse, what's the category for trivia, and what caller do you want?
The long sports weekend recap.
Ooh, yeah.
Memorial Day week. It is Tuesday, Jason, in case you forgot. So,
is it wrong that I can still picture and smell that blueberry pie on the windowsill in Acadia? And when we put it in the back of our car and we opened it up and just spooned, everybody grabbed a fork and just took bites of that hot piping, fresh Maine
Hot
blueberries. You can still feel and taste that. Is that weird that I can still do that?
No, but it's weird the way you're talking about it.
Yeah, little.
What do you mean?
A little saucy.
Oh, so this is where you're so hypocritical.
Pie
Dazzling
erotica.
details, he says. How can I not be any more detailed than that?
It's not the details. It's kind of the creepy way in which you told it. It's got an American
How is
Pie
that
feel
creepy?
to it, quite frankly.
Do you love the blueberry
Really?
pie?
Yeah, it was a little.
It's
a bit much.
You try to make everything. You have a gutter mind, man. You always are turning stuff into
There's literally
things
a
that are not
movie
intended.
called American Pie.
It was an apple pie that what's his face was.
What was he doing?
I don't even know what
was he doing?
He was.
Guessing he was talking about it, much like you are about your blueberry pie.
He was abusing the pie. No, he was not. This was the craftsmanship of the pie.
Hot piping pie.
People are calling, and we don't
It's-
even know what caller we want for trivia.
It's details, people. You want details?
No,
you tell
the
me a picture
details
that
would
is
be,
painted more.
How was the crust? Was it buttery? Was it flaky?
It was flaky and buttery. Yes.
Was it a graham cracker crust, or was it more of a... Okay. See, those
it was
are
not
details.
a strudel.
Caller
It was not
17 for trivia. Caller
It was
17.
piping hot off of a windowsill with smoke, with
Were
the
there
little
drapes
smoke
on
coming
the
out.
windowsill?
No, it was wide open windows because it's country, baby. It is country.
Caller
So no.
17, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Time for trivia presented by Vortex Golf. I did get a rangefinder request from someone in my house, by the way, while Tausch is looking for his binos. By the way, if you want to relive Tausch's sultry description of his blueberry pie in Maine, well, that's why we have the all-new, all-redesigned ESPN Wisconsin app. Live listening, show replays, exclusive content, it's all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Find it in the Apple and Android app stores. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
The greatest show on dirt is charging through Wisconsin. Saturday, June 7th, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars invade Beaver Dam Raceway's grand finale for the Jim J.B. Boyd Memorial, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Then it's a Sunday special on June 8th when the Outlaws race to Angel Park for the first time since 2016. Gates open at 4 p.m. Tickets at slspromotions.com. Be there.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I am really intrigued by the way Jesse describes our contestant. So let's get to Wilde and Tausch Trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Let's welcome him in. Maybe this is the end of his unlucky streak. He has never won anything on Wilde and Tausch despite playing a decent amount. It is Mike in Franklin. Mike, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Well, maybe Vortex Golf is what changes your luck. It also changes your golf game. You'll be more accurate in your distances.
I've won on the other shows, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and Homer. Never won on your guys' show, though.
Well, maybe you should be more loyal to our show than theirs. All right, here we go. Let's go with the questions.
Oh, you can be loyal to all the shows. He doesn't have to pick a favorite.
I'm just saying, maybe it's karma, Kramer. All right, Tausch, are you participating in this or not really?
Isn't it weird? Jesse says you don't have to pick a favorite, even though he does that in his whole life.
He does. He cheers
Isn't that
people.
weird?
Even.
Yeah, I don't want to pressure Mike into having to pick a favorite because then we would be the bullies and he probably wouldn't pick us because he hasn't won anything around.
All right.
I want him to
Mike,
pick
for the
himself.
first time ever, the Indy 500 hosted a special race on Friday featuring 6 versions of which iconic vehicle? Is it the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, the Scooby-Dooby-Doo Mystery Machine, or the Goodyear Blimp?
Oh my gosh! I watched the race. I have no clue. I'm gonna go with the. Can you repeat that, Tausch, please? That's a trick question.
I can. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Use your pirate voice. Okay.
I won't. Oscar Mayer, Scooby-Doo, or Goodyear Blimp?
I'm gonna go with the Oscar Mayer Mobile.
You nailed
Good
it.
choice. Increases your chances of winning something from Wilde and Tausch. Question 2 is this, Mike. Which of these stars of their respective sport is expected to miss at least the next 2 weeks with a quadriceps strain suffered over the weekend? Is it Shohei Ohtani, Jalen Brunson, or Caitlin Clark?
I'm gonna go with Caitlin Clark.
2 for 2.
Perfect
Get a little
week.
perfect week started.
Oh,
Yeah,
now you
it's a
just
shorter week.
now you
We
just
crushed
whammied
it
him.
yesterday. Which school won the Division I NCAA Men's Lacrosse National Championship yesterday? Is it Richmond, Cornell, or Maryland?
I have no clue. I'm gonna go with Cornell.
You know, for a guy who didn't
Well,
really have
am I
much of
right?
a clue. I'm sorry, what did I stepped on your joke?
No, it wasn't working.
I said Cornwell. Am I right?
It was terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry I stepped on that.
I like it.
It was amazing. Mike, you got all 3 right, which means you got 4 entries into Friday's drawing, which means maybe the streak comes to an end. Maybe it does. There's a
hope so.
chance. All right. Well, we'll all find out together on Friday.
You guys are tier 1, just so you know, and take care and be good. All right.
I like it. I feel better.
He laughs at his own jokes, which I appreciate.
That wasn't that good, but it was a lot better than Cornwell.
Now you don't get it. Which is all right.
The 11 o'clock hour, Wilde and Tausch, begins in 2 minutes. So stick around for it.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
The Bud Pavilion's free concert series Wednesday Night Live takes over State Fair Park this Wednesday with Rebel Grace. Gates open Wednesday night at 6. Live music starts at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. Enjoy Rebel Grace this Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on me.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch after a clunky finish to the 10 o'clock hour by me. I had more to say, but then I backed myself into a conversational corner with going up at the end, expecting more. Not good. I'll do better this hour, maybe. Tausch.
That and a long pause.
Well,
And
see,
that
it
long
wasn't meant
pause
to be a
with Cohen?
pause. Jesse was confused because it sounded like I had more to say when it really I didn't. All right, the Jaire Alexander question was number
God,
4.
what are you talking about him for? You're not even that good.
Yeah,
What are you
that's
even
what I've
talking
heard.
about him?
That was question 4 on my list of 5 questions as OTA's kickoff. Tausch, I'm going to give you the choice. 1, 2, 3, or 5. Which question would you like to address? Not knowing. This is a totally blind question for you.
All right,
Unless you
I
read
am
the
going
story.
To go,
Pick number
I'm gonna
2.
Go 3.
No, pick 2.
3. 2. I'm going to pick number 2.
What the heck happened there?
I don't know. I'm going to pick 2.
It's like The Price is Right when the crowd's cheering on.
I'm guessing Jesse's got audio that he's going to play with number 2.
He doesn't even
and I
know
wanna
what
make his job
question
as-
2 is.
No idea what they are. I'm just telling you
And I think
what box
from
to
my
pick.
perspective, I ask a lot of Jesse, I guess, and I want to make sure he's prepared to be successful. So he wants question 2 because he's got corresponding audio with it. I am all in. So 2.
I don't think he has corresponding audio
I
unless
do
he's got
not.
some Brian Bulaga ready. Question 2 is who will be among the proverbial best 5 to start on the offensive line come the September 7th opener against the Detroit Lions? Offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich hath proclaimed, I do declare 3 of the 5 spots to be open competitions, left tackle, right guard, and right tackle, which just so happen to have incumbent starters who are all in the final years of their contracts. Do you believe,
Jason-
Mark Tauscher,
Yeah.
that
Trying
those
to ask
3
you a
players...
question off of yours. No,
Will
there's
win their
only one that will be up for debate. Left tackle, and I think Sheed will hold off Jordan Morgan. But I don't know where the motivation is from Goody and how hard they want to get Jordan Morgan in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That to me is the intrigue. Right guard and right tackle, it's going to be Sean Ryan. It's going to be Zach Tom. Now, if Elton Jenkins doesn't get a new deal, and is Elton Jenkins going to be at minicamp? I put that in my off-season questions. Is he there now? Is he going to be there?
Mhm.
Is
Well,
the deal
we'll be
going to
looking
get
for
done?
him tomorrow.
Okay, that's good. So
Thank you.
All of this stuff. Well, it's awkward pause day today on Wilde and Tausch. Awkward finish. So normally you could tell my voice tails off because that lets
But
you
now
know
it's
that
a little
you're
bit
gonna
harder
go.
to do.
Question 5.
I am not. I am not going to do that today. I am going to finish my sentences with no sense of decrescendoing, which again is a word that sticks with me.
Exclamation
for
points.
A long time. This is all fun and this is all cute, but Zach Tom's going to be your right tackle. Sean Ryan's going to be your right guard, and left tackle is going to be one. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you kind of crescendoed there.
Yeah, that's
by the way,
not a decrescendo, that's a crescendo.
By the way, you sent us a picture of you with your Coors Light can.
Yeah.
And you said the clouds were asymmetrical. And I found myself thinking, do I not know what that word means? So I looked it up, asymmetrical, because I remember Christian Watson, who included in one of the questions, because one of the questions is about the wide receiver group, had an issue with his hamstrings that they were asymmetrical in strength. Asymmetrical means having parts that fail to correspond to one another in shape, size, or arrangement, lacking symmetry. So your clouds, did you feel like they were symmetrical or asymmetrical along with your Coors can?
So why I thought it was a great picture. Obviously,
it is beautiful.
Blue on the can.
Blue mountain, gorgeous can. Blue,
that's a good one.
Blue skies.
The clouds on a plane, or if you're looking horizon, it's dead across. Now, the clouds are obviously asymmetrical. They're not all the same. They're shaped differently, but what made the picture great to me was it looked like you could put a chalk line and run it all the way down. You snap it off, and it is perfect. So I guess I would probably say symmetrical in horizon, asymmetrical in shape. Does that make sense?
Not really, but I appreciate you trying to explain it to me. And I love the fact that Jesse is moving the picture around in our video stream. This is the kind of bonus content you get when you check in on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. All right, I want to get to some of these other questions that I ask and see how Tausch
Do you agree
thinks
with
they
me?
will be answered.
Since nobody ever asks you questions and you pout about it a lot, do you agree with me on my assessment of question 2?
Yes, I thought you were going to ask about the picture.
No. I just thought it was a great picture. I didn't realize you were going to just pick at me on asymmetrical versus symmetrical.
I just wanted to understand what you were trying to say about the photo. No.
Did it not just look like it was straight across?
I've noticed, and I think if you noticed lately, I have dialed back the corrective actions that I take with the things
No, I don't
say.
make a ton of mistakes, so that's not true.
Okay.
Well, I don't. Okay.
This was productive.
Who's really what this comes down to? Jason,
I think they want
who's
Jordan.
the starting left
I think they
tackle
want Jordan Morgan in the lineup. I think there is an internal pressure to get a first-round pick onto the field so he's not sitting as a backup sixth man for a second straight year. So I think they want him to be one of the 5. That's what I think.
Okay. So is
Do
he
you
starting
agree or disagree?
on September 7th against the Detroit Lions?
I am on Team Tausch. I think Sean Ryan is still going to be the right guard. I think Zach Tom is going to be the right tackle.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm going through all of them.
We should have picked box 1.
Oh, you're crescendoing.
Yeah, you should just let him go with 3, which was much better.
2 was
question.
a bad choice.
Milk was a poor choice. I think they're going to start the 5 that I assume tomorrow, if Elton Jenkins were there, they would have on the field, which would left to right be Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom. I think the incumbents / the free agent that got $77 million are the starters. I have not seen enough evidence that Jordan Morgan is going to be that good. Now, we also didn't see a ton of him. He missed a ton of training camp, missed a ton of the season. He made 1 start. So if he's healthy, maybe he's a total beast that we don't know about yet. But as of right now today, I don't have any evidence that says he is going to win the left tackle job or supplant Sean Ryan at right guard.
What would Vegas say on this? Or what would Rockford say?
They would say, who is Jordan Morgan? I don't know.
Is it a 50-50? Is it 50-50 in your eyes, or do you think this is because there's no doubt what you said about internal pressure, and of course Brian Gutekunst wants his first-round pick to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. But Steno and Matt LaFleur are going to say, well, Sheed's better. He's going to protect better, and we feel more confident in him. We're playing him. I tend to think that's how that is going to play out. I don't know what Jordan Morgan looks like. I don't know what kind of offseason he had. We'll get a pretty good glimpse of it. But that is where the organization will want to go. If that is what happens, and Jordan Morgan is your starter going into the last preseason game and then, in essence, going into that September 7th tip, if I'm Rasheed Walker, do you just sit there and say, well, I get a year of no wear and tear, or do you say, well, no, I'm good enough. I want to go start somewhere else. Trade me.
Yeah. I would want to play.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was actually continuing to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No, I was saying yeah. Well, I can't say meow. You have. Did you trademark meow over the Memorial Day weekend and I didn't know about it?
How long is that dead air?
6.5 seconds.
All right. There is no better time than for Wilde to stop pouting and to upgrade his windows and doors than right now, because Pella's offering up to 6 years with 0% financing. Set your free in-home consultation today. You commit to nothing. Just like the Packers have not committed to anybody up front as starters. Well, with the exception of Banksy. They have not committed. You don't have to either. They'll set to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations that will make it a reality. Again, 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends May 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Yep. We'll get to more of the questions I posed next. I'm not sure how to end it now. So it's awkward. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
The people there made it a really great trip. The people in Green Bay were really nice, like literally driving ESPN people around themselves.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
The Pancake Palace in Green Bay was outstanding. So really nice trip.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball as two of the game's youngest superstars square off. The first Friday game of June means Wisconsinites can grab half-off tickets to the Brewers series opener on the 6th, then score one of the top giveaways of the season, a Jackson Churio replica jersey presented by Chevrolet for the first 25,000 ticketed fans through the gates June 7th. Get seats at Brewers.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Jonathan Zaslow.
It certainly remains to be seen based on what happens the rest of this series and definitely what happens tomorrow night with Game 4. But Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, unbelievable in that fourth quarter, giving the Knicks fan a forever game. All right, the Knicks fan will remember forever where they were watching that fourth quarter comeback last night, which, at least for the time, saved their season, because the season is definitely over for them if they lose that game last night. So the Knicks fan got a forever moment, and Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, 8 rebounds in just the fourth quarter. I mean, Dre, if you were to ask me to come up with a list of perceived or real superstars, however you want to look at it, who I just don't trust in big moments, Karl Anthony Towns would be very close to the top, and man, he did everything right in the final 12 minutes.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Three more questions that have not been covered. Your choices are these.
Well, why don't we, if I may, we don't have to sit here. We're just coming off of a break. Do we have to get through all 5 of these today, or can we not expand? And is this what we're doing? Or it feels like it seems like a lot. Did you write all 5 in one article?
I did. Yeah.
Good for you.
But I was only going to do one more, and then I thought we could do 2 more tomorrow.
Okay.
Wait, what? Why are you? What's with the sound effects today?
I just got. I'm in a good mood. I can't now. I can't be in a good mood. You guys, I swear, y'all love it when I'm in a bad mood.
No,
you push
we
to get me in
don't.
a bad mood.
No,
I think you do.
I do a
You
little
love
bit.
always
I do.
trying to get me to be.
I do not.
Curmudgeon-y, and
No.
you're trying to pin me like some old dude. And
Just a little
I feel that
bit.
way. I know Jesse does.
Jesse
I don't know
does.
about you.
Just a
No,
little
I-
rattled, yeah.
I want to. Can't we all just
Not
get along?
rattled at all. Somebody's rattled. Somebody's rattled.
Good luck.
That's some.
Yeah. 1, 3, or 5.
Number 1.
Let's go
number
3.
1.
No, I'm not listening to you. You don't even have any audio set up with it. Number 3.
He doesn't. None. Question 3. What will be the pecking order at wide receiver after the draft day additions of Matthew Golden and Savion, as you like to call him, Williams? Did you realize... Please go ahead.
It's going to answer the question.
What did I realize? What did
Did
I
you realize the snap counts in the loss to the Eagles? Obviously, Christian Watson, who oddly enough was not on IR, he was just inactive. The snap counts, the Packers ran 66 offensive plays. Dontavion Wicks played 51. Romeo Doubs, 37, and then he suffered a concussion. Jaden Reed, 36, Then he dislocated his shoulder. Bo Melton, 32, and Malik Heath, 26. And as is written in this fascinating piece on channel3000.com, make no mistake, all 6 of those men have a lot at stake this season, including Watson, who is not expected to be cleared for game action until November.
According to Dr. Wilde.
Indeed. Went to medical school. Watson and Dobbs in the final years of their rookie deals. Wicks and Reed eligible for extensions after the season. And look, I understand Matthew Golden's a first-round pick. I know he's going to be on the field, but that doesn't guarantee him, playing the most snaps or the most targets or anything like that. Just because we don't know what it's like around here for a guy to be drafted in the first round that plays wide receiver, he's not guaranteed that. What's realistic to expect for his opportunities, and how do the others shake out in your mind?
I think right now, Jaden Reed is going to be, and I'm not going to go 1, 2, and 3 because I think there's going to be different positions. I think it'll be disappointing. I guess the question I have, are you going to be disappointed if Matthew Golden is the number 1 at the end of, if we're having this discussion next year in May, and Matthew Golden isn't the definitive 1, are we disappointed?
Yes.
6, 7.
Yes.
Okay. Glad you answered. I agree. So Jaden Reed, it's a pause Tuesday. No, it's a pause Tuesday.
I want
3 or
people
4
to think.
seconds. 7 or 8 seconds is a long time. Matthew Golden, and this I give you credit for, that stat of the day, which was back in March and April, on when the Green Bay Packers, it's been 23 years, as Mark Murphy said on draft night, when the Packers have selected first-round picks, they've been awesome. Javon Walker, I know he got hurt and it didn't end well. He was our 1 in 03. He was our number 1. He was explosive. He was on a trajectory. It sucks that he got hurt and it didn't work out. But he was a good wide. I'm not putting him in this category, but 2 out of 4 are Hall of Fame receivers. 2 out of 4. Matthew Golden, roll your eyes all you want. It's your stat. I didn't look it up. So that tells you that this guy, when you use a first-round pick, and especially in Green Bay when you've had all the success with second and third and fourth-round picks and seventh-round picks in Drive's case, you can look at this and say, he's got to be good. He needs to be that guy. So Jaden Reed, nice player. Hopefully he elevates and has a really good season. But if he is sitting here as your number 1 next year and Matthew Golden is a 2 or a 3, you're not going to be like distraught or really irritated. But you will be looking and say, well, Matthew Golden needs to elevate. We need Matthew Golden to be that number 1 guy. And maybe it shakes out that way, maybe it doesn't. But the expectations will be, I think he starts a little slow, and by Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving's that big deadline. In the
no
NFL,
frosh play before Thanksgiving Day.
He needs to be at that point where he is the most targeted, and he is the guy. Unless there's an injury, that's what needs to happen. And Jaden Reed needs to find his role, which I think will be a good number 2. And then it is Bedlam. Because I think they're going to find different packages for Sevion. And then it's like, well, where's Wicks? What is he going to do? Well, what's Heath going to do? That's when you get guys scrambling and really having to identify in a role that fits the team. And you find your 3 or 4 guys that you interchange to make your offense more explosive. Matthew Golden has to be in that mix.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what do you see his role being for year 1? And are you going to be disappointed if he is 4th on the team in catches behind Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs?
No.
Yeah, I'm not either.
As long as by Thanksgiving we're not sitting there asking, kind of a dismal campaign. He's not really getting in much. He's not doing this. I am fine with that because that means those guys have elevated and that they're playing at a better level. But this guy needs to be coming on by the end of the season. So if he's 4th or 5th and he doesn't catch Dobbs, or if Jaden Reed has a big year, that's great. But I still want to see the signs that the Packers are looking at it saying, yes, he is that dude. As Marcellus Wiley puts it, he is that dude. I want this to be after Thanksgiving, it is, man, he is that dude. That's what I'm looking for.
We'll see if he is that dude. I'll say this, when it comes to golf tournaments, the AmFam Championship is that tournament for Wilde and Tausch. Am I right?
And we're only about a week, and what are we, 10 days out, 11
about
days
10
out?
days out, yep.
June 6th, American Family Insurance Championship has returned to Madison, and they got a couple of changes. Changes. Wisconsin's own Steve Stricker hosts the PGA Tour Champions event June 6th through the 8th at its new home. That's change 1, TPC, Wisconsin. The AmFam Champ also debuts a new team competition. That is change 2. 2-person teams will compete in best ball and scramble formats. American Family Insurance Championship, June 6th. That's when the Wilde and Tausch crew, Lord knows if Jess will be out there. And it goes through the 8th. You got the great concert on Friday night. You got the great golf. You got all these defending champs coming back. Who's all coming back, Jesse? Freddie, Steve, Jerry.
Tongue Chai JD.
That's the one.
That's it.
Yep.
Get details and ticket info at amfamchampionship.com.
Ernie Els, the defending champ.
Megan Maroney, I think, is the act playing on Friday. And I'm in a little bit of a pickle here.
Oh, no.
Because this is always a great night. Sarah and I go. It's just an awesome night to be out. You're out with
I've heard
friends.
that.
You're having some course. But somebody in our house is a monster fan of this young lady. She wants to go.
Oh, Max, that sounds like fun.
Softball tournament the next day. We always have every year. Saturday morning, I can almost guarantee I'm going to have an 8 a.m. game in Janesville. Almost every year. I'll fight through. I'll do it.
Take one for the team.
But I'll have to figure whether or not Eleanor goes. Have to figure that out.
It's an emotional decision that'll have to be made as the Megan Maroney concert leaves Tausch all choked.
You're right.
But that's where a partner would have jumped in as I'm coughing.
Well,
you could have taken it, but instead you pause and are just a total jerk store about it. So we'll come up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Well, wait a minute.
No.
What?
No, false start.
You can't.
Why? Why is that a false start?
Okay,
I'm coughing. I move my mic. I'm trying to finish my sentence. And instead of you jumping in and saying, all right, Tausch, that's great, but we'll figure that out, you just hang me out. And then you call me out on it. Rude.
Hey,
why?
Remember this baseball game when you did that exact same thing to me and said, "Hey, how you doing over there?" You all
but
right?
I'm the analyst, I'm not the PXP guy. I'm the analyst. Jason's not the analyst in this instance.
You were in the middle of a story that I don't know anything about. How am I supposed to take over the story? I don't even know
whether or not
who
Eleanor
Maroney
is going to go to the
is.
concert or not. This isn't that hard. Like, this wasn't a Charles Dickens play where you're trying to figure out. This was pretty cut and dry.
Charles
You knew what was
Dickens didn't
happening.
write plays. He wrote books.
Dickens didn't do A Christmas Carol?
Is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Didn't Dickens do Christmas Carol?
This.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. Looking to simplify your everyday banking? Our checking and savings accounts offer the tools you need, plus the friendly, Simply Local service you deserve. Enjoy competitive rates, 24/7 online and mobile banking, and real people ready to help right here in your community. Whether your checking balance is at midnight or stopping by one of our branches at noon, Great Midwest Bank has you covered with a variety of new and improved account options designed for your unique needs. Great Midwest Bank, Simply Local and member FDIC.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart. The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment. The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's. To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone. I don't wanna move on. I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was the happiest I've ever been. So I'm just trying to hold on. Hold on. I don't wanna know what it's like.
Time now for Lone Ellie.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
The New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 4 tonight. The Pacers hold a 2-1 series lead over the Knicks. Indiana had a chance to go up 3-0 on Sunday night before blowing a 20-point lead to New York. Of course, that's after New York gifted Indiana the first 2 games with ferocious comebacks at Madison Square Garden. Are either of these teams more rootable than the other? We touched on this with Evan a little bit earlier. Like, Indiana is the Bucks' rival, but the Knicks are also really obnoxious with all the fans and, I don't know, like all the media members who hop on the bandwagon or cheering them on. Like, they're both pretty annoying. Is one more rootable than the other?
Knicks by a nose.
No, if it wasn't for the rivalry with the Bucks, we would look at Indiana and say, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, both smaller, big cities, Midwestern. They've built their team. They don't get the luxury of having all these stars wanting to go there. I think there's a natural, it's a small market, like there's a lot of similarities, and that's probably why Indiana was jealous of the Bucks and all their success. If it wasn't for all that, we would really be looking at this saying, kudos to them. They've developed this team. They lost their star who asked out. I think Bucks fans, yes, there's some personal history. They've made the rivalry and they've beaten us the last 2 years. But I would think we'd be pulling for Indiana if it wasn't for that. And again, that's outside of the how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Outside of your husband getting us, that's kind of that vibe. So I don't really want any of these teams to win it. I wanted Denver to win it. That's who I was looking for, and that didn't happen.
I think between Halliburton's dad and some of the other bad blood there.
He's an Oshkosh guy, though. He's an Oshkosh guy.
I understand. You would find me annoying if I behaved that way. And I'm a Wisconsin guy. You'd criticize me for that behavior. They rub me the wrong way. And I can't believe I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I'm rooting for the Knicks. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly! I think I'm actually rooting for Indiana in this series. That's why.
You got money on it.
That's why. There is that.
Hard Rock Casino.
Speaking of money, no offense to Brad Nortman, Pat McAfee, and all the great punters of the world.
Oh boy.
Sam Veit.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Pat Murphy, should he get fired? This sounds exactly like you trying to get Pat Murphy fired.
I'm not trying to get Pat Murphy fired. Hopefully the Brewers get a nice win tonight to get back to 500. That'd be swell.
Do we give Homer credit for getting Jackson Chourio to walk more?
He has been walking more.
I'm being dead serious.
And I think of Homer every time I see him draw a walk. Do you?
He walks. I think Jackson Chourio, I see on my X timeline, Homer, and Homer, it's hilarious to me. All right, continue, Jesse.
The Las Vegas Raiders and punter A.J. Cole reached a 4-year, $15.8 million extension. Seems pricey for a punter, don't you think?
I haven't thought about it at all.
It's the price of doing business.
Like, can't you just draft one every few years and it's the punter?
Yeah. Jason, I have jumped on Jason's bandwagon here. I ain't drafting punters or kickers anymore. I'm done with it. It adds too much pressure to them. You don't need it. Find a guy and then pay that man his monies. Like, it's not worth it. Especially now, punter, I might be more flexible. But if you look at Green Bay's history, they have drafted punters and they were punting for other teams.
It's true.
So you're wasting a pick.
It's true. It's true.
Australia is just firing punters at us.
It's a punter hotbed.
We got more punters. I don't think there's any tariffing on punting yet, so that's good. In this regard, we look at kicking. If anything, we've proven if you have a young team, even if you don't think there's a ton of playoff potential with that squad, you better still have somebody that can make kicks because you're not a playoff team until you are. And then, Anders, we need you to grow. Come on, Anders. We need you quicker. Anders. And he ain't ready. And then you're sitting there, you're scrambling. And then you got to wait for a lawsuit to settle in order to bring your kicker in, and then you pay that. That's what ends up happening.
Lesson learned.
The Anders thing. That was great.
Needed him to grow.
Anders! Come on, Anders!
Well, did they not?
100%. And great points.
Yep.
And
That
welcome
happened,
to the team on not drafting specialists. Not worth it.
Whoa, Nelly!
Quickly, last one. While we were up north over the weekend, all of us who are in our low 30s gathered around the TV, logged on to Max or HBO Max. I don't know what we're calling it anymore.
That's so stupid. Yeah, what are they doing? You got to rebrand something 6 times. It's probably not what you want. Oh, that annoys me too.
We watched the 2001 blockbuster hit movie Spy Kids, starring Antonio Banderas, among others. It is not a very good movie, but for those of us that are the age that we are, we remember going to see that in theaters with our families, say, wow, this is the greatest movie of all time. Is there a movie from your childhood that only people roughly your age would appreciate that way?
Yeah, American Pie. And not because Jason sensualized a pie earlier in the show. That's not why. It's the movie. It was
only one person
in that
sensualizing a pie on this show. And it
no,
wasn't me.
you made it weird. You did.
Well, now that I'll accept that. You sensualized
You're the pie
it,
guy.
and then I made it weird.
Total pie guy. That American Pie was that. It's one of those movies you went to and you laughed, you took us off, and it was kind of in that genre of time where I don't know how that movie would do in today's day and age. I have no clue. Probably not as well.
Bawdy. That's the word I'm looking for there. The Sandlot. Do kids today, do they look at The Sandlot? Do they watch that movie with the catcher, with the You're Killing Me, Smalls?
I don't know. You have two young kids. Do they watch it?
They've never seen it, no.
Well, there's your answer.
I think
you got market research right in your house.
I think baseball players watch
Pretty
The
small
Sandlot.
sample size there, old boy.
Like if you're
No, it's not. Your kids love sports. So what are you talking about? You've been raving about that Brewers expose with Sandlot or whatever they did a couple years ago. So, no, it's not a small sample size.
2 people is not a small sample size?
In your own house that love sports? No.
50% of your house.
No.
The dogs love it, though. Ryan Wollersheim texts in on the private talk and text line. Sandlot is an iconic movie. It spans generations. Great.
Yeah, baseball fans like The Sandlot.
Is it possible that Wooly is actually older than Jesse? Is that possible?
What are you doing over there?
Just stirring it up.
Well, so we're sitting here having a conversation.
There's
and
Wooly
you're
right
tweeting
there.
Stuff out.
I didn't tweet any. I tweeted something during the commercial break. I'm asking
from through the glass.
Jesse
Look at
is
that.
like the oldest 30-year-old we've ever met. We've all agreed on that. And I think Wooly, with his responses, I think he's older than Jesse. That's all I said.
After another big opening by Tom Cruise in a more than ever fractured theater, RE, environment, is there a bigger box office star ever than TC? Not to be confused with Tom Crabtree or Tony Cartagena. When you factor everything in, who else is even in the conversation? You couldn't, do this as a draft for tomorrow's show?
It's a tease for tomorrow. It's a tease for tomorrow's show.
You didn't even mention it. If it hadn't popped up on my screen,
I knew you had
never
Packers.
teased it.
No, because I wanted to get some intel for tomorrow's show so that that's why I did it now. I wanted to do it so we talk about it at the end of the show after Whoa Nelly teasing it out. Because it's a great topic. I love this topic.
All right, we need to move on. And I need to remind you, right now I'm on Bucks.com/plus for the Behind the Bucks podcast. There's episodes about Giannis and the Marvelous Journey documentary. There's the Brandon Jennings story. There's the Going for Gold, talking about playing on the Olympic teams. And, of course, the Damian Lillard story as well. And they are all presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks can be found on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
They actually did it.
For the first time since 2002.
The Green and Gold have drafted their next playmaker.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Does Jordan Love now have his number one target?
Touchdown, Matthew Golden!
React to the pick right here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. A big focus in America today is your health. And you can't be fully healthy if you are not physically mobile to do the things you want to do. If you're someone that keeps on experiencing that joint pain, then you need to visit QC Kinetics. When I go to QC Kinetics' Greenfield location, I am amazed at everything that they have to give you your life back and finally fix that pain that you're experiencing. Everything they do is top of the line. From the free consultation where you can get an ultrasound of your joints and see what is nagging you in real time, to the effective and long-lasting treatments of PRP and stem cells that they offer to give you long-lasting pain relief. Be one of the tens of thousands of other patients who now have a pain-free life because of the treatments they received at QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Get ready for summer parties with big savings happening now at Menards. Shelter Logic canopies provide shade and weather protection for tailgating and outdoor gatherings. Their heavy-duty steel frames have slip-fit connections for quick and easy assembly. Save big money and check out our great selection of canopies in store. Plus, find more great deals in our weekly flyer on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world 'cause it's all so.
The show's supposed to be over already. We got to go. But Tom Cruise scheduled to appear tomorrow as part of his promotional tour. Okay, he's not really going to be on, but maybe Tausch went and saw the latest Mission Impossible. We'll talk about it. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelry. I've been a big fan of Scott.
You change your name to the Jokers. When I think of gambling, you think of the Joker when it comes to cards and all the other stuff. Q, you ask a lot of questions, oppose a lot of things. Spell it JOE-QERS. You guys have a great day.
An idea, man.
It's pretty stinking creative, to be honest.
Yes.
Let's get him in touch with our marketing people.
There's a case to be made that that's the most intelligent, creative thing that's been said on this show so far.
Not just the last 2 hours, but since we started the show a month ago.
Since the network launched back in the day, forget about Mike and Mike and everything else.
1992. Tony Bruno's doing stuff.
Yeah.
This is the smartest thing I've
Colin
heard so
Cowherd,
far.
look out.
Yeah.
This is Joe and Q.
Or like our guy Cam who's in for the other Cam today, the Joe Qers. that's what he says we are on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, and tune in. We're also on your smart speaker, presented by Progressive Insurance. He's Joe Fortenbaugh. I'm Q Myers. We form Joe and Q. We do appreciate you checking out the People's Show, as we are here for the people. And Joe, the thing about it is, the NFL is so big and so massive, and they just dominate everything. We know exactly how many days there are until the season starts. Like, there's no other sport that we know 100 days out that it's 100 days out. But we know that the NFL is 100 days out from today from getting started. That's how fantastic the National Football League really is.
Very excited to discuss it. Then when done discussing it, very excited to get back to trying to live in the present moment and focus on not rushing summer. It's the only downside to the NFL is that this and like the college football talk has started. Phil Steele's got his countdown to when the magazine ships. Everyone's getting fired up. It's like, yes, let's get fired up. Let's not rush through June, July, August. Let's enjoy those months.
So with that being said, what's the big storylines that we're looking for, though? I mean, there's a fantastic article on ESPN.com right now from Benjamin Solak that has the 100 days and a lot of different things to look at. But what are we doing around here on Joe and Q? What are our big storylines that we're looking at when it comes to the National Football
So if you go back to last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 3 predominant storylines that covered us all summer. These were fantastic storylines. They drove the network. In no particular order, there was the Brandon Ayuk situation in San Francisco with his contract. There was the Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb contract situation in Dallas. And then there was everything surrounding the quarterback battle in Pittsburgh between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Those were the 3 main ones, sprinkling in some Aaron Rodgers wanting to go to Egypt and no one at the Jets being willing to move OTAs to accommodate that. That was gold. And Caleb Williams' first year in Chicago. Like, those were the 5, but the 3 main ones where we just drilled down on the Cowboys, the Niners, and the Steelers all summer. Yeah, so if there's going to be 3 or 4 this year, it almost feels like it's the same teams and the same culprits, right? Like Micah Parsons in Dallas. Yeah. Would we agree that that contract extension is going to be one of the driving storylines of the summer?
Yeah, I think we will agree that, and I think that we both agree that it shouldn't be, right? I don't think it should be a big storyline, but because the way that Jerry operates, it's going to be a big storyline. Like, it's something that probably could get done pretty quickly and probably pretty quietly, but we know it won't. That's the thing. Like, we know it's going to be a storyline because Jerry's going to force it to be a storyline.
Oh, yeah. So that'll give us one right there. Now, on top of that, the Pittsburgh quarterback situation, once again, is going to be a major story. Will this crack the top 3 like it did last year? Because we did Russ versus Fields every day, and we were able to slice it differently every single time. It was extraordinary how it was, okay, do we let one go to the bye week, and then do you go like this? And then Russ ending up getting hurt really gave us a new dynamic for the second half of the summer to ride that through. It feels like the Pittsburgh quarterback situation is going to be a big story until we figure out what's going on with Rodgers, who, oh, by the way, was one of the culprits of the main storylines last summer.
Well, that's the thing about it. I think it's going to be a big storyline until we find out who's going to be the starting quarterback. And the reason I say who and not just say Aaron Rodgers is because I like to throw Kirk Cousins into that conversation. I think that Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers are both in play there in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh would like to say it's just Aaron Rodgers, but ultimately when he leaves them at the altar and doesn't show up, I think their pivot is going to be to Kirk Cousins. That's just me.
Okay, so we've got a quarterback battle situation. Instead of two guys on the roster, it's two guys battling in free agency to see who's eventually going to sign.
Today that Kirk Cousins didn't show up for OTAs, right?
He wants to be a starting quarterback.
Cousins sending a message.
Look, he wants to be a starting quarterback.
You already got a storyline right there.
He don't want to be no backup to Michael
up the
Penix.
list.
This guy got a big free agent contract deal from Atlanta. Then all of a sudden they drafted his replacement and threw him in there in week 16. Like he's ready to be a starting quarterback somewhere. That's why it makes sense to me now that Cleveland has a 5,000 quarterbacks on the roster. Pittsburgh's the only spot.
Okay, now this one will not lead the news cycle in June. But come mid-July, as we get set for training camp, my pick for the number one storyline throughout end of July through August, Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland.
Yep.
Is there anything that's going to top Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland? Because June, we're not going to do a whole lot with that.
Right.
But once camp opens, it's going to be a scenario where we're going to be breaking down every rep of 7-on-7 with no pads and no helmets, trying to decipher whether or not he should be starting in week 1.
Yeah, I think that there's no doubt that that's going to be the number one storyline because he's already featured in so many non-storylines, right? It's like anytime anyone, and I'm not just saying the Cleveland Browns or the NFL, I'm just saying all the different YouTubers, all the different Twitter guys, aggregators, whatever the case may be, any single time that Shedeur does anything, if he breathes, it's like, oh, Shedeur Sanders did this today. Shedeur Sanders did this. Shedeur Sanders was at Travis Hunter's wedding. Like, everything is around him and video of him, conversation of him, what he bought or what he apparently didn't buy. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's always something around him. And it's wild to think this is a 5th-round pick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of noise around Cleveland. All right, I'm going to throw another one at you. I think this is a sleeper depending on how the two sides handle it. It might be something that's done before we even realize it, and it doesn't end up becoming a story, or it could. What would you do if you're Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, who's starting to hint at wanting a new contract, comes out and lets you know he wants a new contract? Now, this isn't supposed to be sports talking with do you trade Lamar Jackson? We're not suggesting that.
No.
But Jackson right now is scheduled to make, on average, $52 million per year under his current deal. That is 10th most at the quarterback position in the NFL. He trails Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, and Justin Herbert.
That's so wild.
He's got
two
years left on a deal he signed that has an out. It has a 3rd year, but there is an out after 2 years. I'm wondering if we start to hear more of this, because some could say, look, you got 2 years left minimum. You're getting $52 million a year. Go win something in the playoffs before you get a new deal. But Josh Allen just got a new deal out of left field. The Bills rewarded him with that 6-year, $330 million extension that kind of replaced the 4-year, $130 million that was left. So if you watch Allen get it, and he just won MVP, and you've got a couple of MVPs, aren't you thinking about time for a new extension?
Yeah, especially when you start telling me about the guys that are in my ballpark for making the same amount of money. The only guys that could say anything about making their money and having a legit leg to stand on are Joe Burrow and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Everyone else that you named hasn't done squat. Right? They haven't done anything.
Yeah, I mean, you go through Jordan Love. It's you understand that a couple of these guys are going to get ahead of you because they signed after you. But if I'm looking up at Goff, Purdy, Herbert, Tua, Lawrence, and Love, I'm thinking to myself, all right.
Herbert is the one guy, Joe, and I don't understand why this is. Herbert is the one guy that gets all the love and has done literally nothing. He's been the guy that you've told me since he came into the league, and I don't mean you, I mean the smart people out there, that he's going to be the next golden arm. And last thing I saw him do was throw 1 touchdown pass and 4 interceptions in the playoffs. And then before that, I saw him have a 27-0 lead and then lose it in the playoffs. And then I saw him at Allegiant Stadium talking about, I hope that, that we tie so we can make the playoffs. And then Jim Harbaugh's supposed to save the day for him. Like, Herbert has literally done nothing, but yet everyone pounds it into my head that he's an elite quarterback.
He came out as a top pick, top 5. So right there, we've already been, conditioned to believe this is a good player. whether you want to agree with that or not, when that's how the mind works. Hey, this guy is going to go top 5. Okay, that is supposed to be a good player.
Yep.
On top of that, he looks the part. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You watch him at Oregon, you see him take the field. Big guy, strong arm, good-looking kid. He looks the part of the NFL starting quarterback. You're right about the performance against Houston. I think a lot of his early years were squandered because of bad coaching.
I agree.
It's still a stock I'm interested in buying. It still is, especially with Harbaugh running the show there now. I think there's a ton of potential, but it is fair to question,
Is this the year, though?
given
Is
what
this
you've
the year
seen.
that he has to take that next step?
I mean, you're at a point now where you've been around long enough. You got to be elevating the play of those around you.
Okay.
Right? So is the Charger defense going to be better? Because if Herbert's out there leading an offense that's hanging 27 a game, but they're going 8 and 9 because the defense can't get stops, how much of that do I put on him? But it is about time that we watch you win some games. Like, you're the reason very clearly why the team is winning. Get into the playoffs, maybe take somebody out. We've seen you in the playoffs twice.
Right.
A horrible second-half collapse against the bad Jacksonville team and a just complete disaster meltdown against Houston last year. Okay, that stuff will happen, but it's time to take the next step. It's time to take the next step. So the questions on him are fair. I still think it's stock worth buying, though.
You know, the thing about it is, though, we had all these healthy debates on Brock Purdy. Should you pay him or should you not pay him? I would say Brock Purdy's done just as much, if not more, than Justin Herbert's done. And he just got paid.
Well, yeah,
obviously.
he's done more.
Right.
He's certainly done more. Then the argument becomes, okay, well, Brandon Staley versus Kyle Shanahan.
True.
The Charger offensive assortment with one of the worst O-lines in the league versus McCaffrey and Ayuk and Samuel and Kittle.
I get that.
It starts to get into that. But, yeah, Purdy has achieved more. I think that's not even debatable.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be interesting. It's definitely one of the storylines that I'll be paying attention throughout the course of this upcoming year.
Chargers are a very intriguing storyline. I want to see, I said this last year, who's going to be the first? Greenberg's the one I've earmarked, but who's going to be the first to plant the flag that the Chargers are the surprise team that's going to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl this year? Someone's going to do it. I've been saying it for 9 months. I can't wait to see who it is.
I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, who it ain't going to be. This guy.
Big surprise. The guy who covers the Raiders is not going to be picking the Chargers. Oh.
He's Joe Fortenbaugh. I'm Q Myers. It's Joe and Q on ESPN Radio. If you're not able to listen to all 3 hours of the show today, that's all right. You can catch up on the show on the Joe and Q podcast, available daily wherever you get your podcast. Coming up, we want to finalize our list of the top NFL storylines. And since we're the People's Show, we want to hear from the people. What will be the number one storyline in the NFL? Did we miss any? Hit us up at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We want to hear from you. It's Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Got something to say to Joe and Q? Call the show. 888-SAY-ESPN.
There are low-intelligence people who do not understand what to do with all this information.
That's 888-729-3776.
And as a result, they run wild with this stuff.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle-Gro garden soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
Join NBA stars Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener on the links at Hidden Glen Golf Course or at the Champions for Literacy celebration on June 27th at the Garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Help bring awareness to youth literacy and support Milwaukee's youth. Get full event details at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. And if you can't make the party, learn more about the Elite Youth Basketball Camp happening on June 28th at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. That's wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
The Bud Pavilion's free concert series Wednesday Night Live takes over State Fair Park this Wednesday with Rebel Grace. Gates open Wednesday night at 6. Live music starts at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. Enjoy Rebel Grace this Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season, and now is the time to tackle those big projects you've been putting off. Right now, during the home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months, and you'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can't get to the Super Bowl in early October, but they are not playing like a team that has those types of aspirations right now.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pizza money alert.
Pizza, pizza.
Knicks at the Pacers, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight on ESPN Radio. Pacers lead the series 2-1. This, naturally, is game 4. We're going to go with a player prop here. There's some other stuff I like. I lean to the Pacers. We got some other things we'll divulge throughout the course of the show. Jalen Brunson to go over 2.5 made three-pointers. So we need Brunson to connect on 3 or more three-pointers tonight. It's minus 105. That's a bet we're locking in. He was 1 for 5 from deep in game 3 in what turned out to be his second worst shooting performance this postseason. He was only 33% from the field. So naturally, we think there's going to be a little bit of positive regression here. Now, he only played 30 minutes in that game, so the legs should be in relatively good shape coming into tonight's matchup. But here's the kicker. When he hits 1 or fewer three-pointers this postseason, he's responded the next game to drill 4, 3, 3, and 5. He's gone over 2.5 every single time out the next time after having 1 or fewer. Pizza money number 1, Jalen Brunson over 2.5 made three-pointers. Game 4 tonight, Knicks at Pacers, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio.
He's Joe Fortenbaum. Q Myers is Joe and Q on ESPN Radio. The ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, and tune in. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. We are the People's Show, so we want to hear from the people at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Joe, as we're 100 days out until the start of the NFL season for 2025, we're looking for our top 3 storylines that we're going to be tracking. And we've thrown a lot of different ideas out there, a lot of different names, Rodgers, contract situations with Micah Parsons, Caleb Williams and the Bears didn't throw that out there, but that's one. Cleveland quarterback room situation. Let's rank them real quick before we hear from the people on what's the big storyline that they'll be following. So what's our top 3 storylines that we feel very confident we'll be talking about quite a bit here on Joe and Q?
Number 3.
Oh, wow. Ooh,
nice.
I didn't realize we are going to have sound
Hey, we got the
effects
big
here.
production.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey-o.
Hold up now.
Okay. I could go in a few different directions here. Of the three, I don't know. Where do you want to go three? Because I know what I want to go 1, 2.
Okay. All right. Well, 3, I think, is probably. Let's go with.
I feel like we have to have the Cowboys on there. So do you?
Yeah,
Cowboys are 1 or 2.
They're definitely on there. So it's got to be Rodgers.
Do we have to go 3 to 1? Why don't we just spoil it right now and work our way through it? Because I was going to say, I think Shador and Micah have to be 1 and 2 in any order.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know what 3 is going to be, though.
And then Rodgers. Rodgers has got to be 3.
The thing that worries me about that is if we commit to Rodgers being a big storyline now and he comes out and signs with Pittsburgh tomorrow, is he still a big storyline all summer?
I still think he's going to get talked about.
Yeah.
And can Mike Tomlin win with Aaron Rodgers? And, I think it's still going to be a storyline regardless.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think Dallas, and I agree with Shador. But to me, I think the third storyline is Caleb. And Q just
first year with Ben Johnson?
Yeah, I think between Ben Johnson and now we just had the book coming out with all the Wickersham stuff, all that stuff about what was going on last year, all the quotes from that. So Caleb needs to have a good year with Ben Johnson. What's his second year going to be like? Maybe he's going to be really good. So so I think either way, it's a big storyline in Chicago with Caleb. So I think there's going to be a lot of eyes of what's going on there. So to me, I think that's one of the top 3.
Still feels like the Rodgers drama will trump that, though.
It does.
Like, that's the thing.
Really
look at what leads these news cycles.
Yeah.
Like you're making a great case for a great football discussion all summer about Chicago. I agree with you on that. That's going to be a very good discussion all summer long.
Right.
I don't know if that's juicy enough to usurp Aaron Rodgers, who just the other day had Danica Patrick coming out and talking about how he's emotionally abusive and how bad the relationship was. Like, there's always something with Rodgers.
Yeah. Always something. He had didn't he have a 3-hour sit down the other day and didn't even talk about football? Or
he was on with Rogan for 3 hours. He gave you nothing, but I'm not going to get into it, but he said nothing about football.
That's what I'm saying.
Rogan's not a football guy, so they're not going to do a whole lot on that. But
Aaron Rodgers is a football player.
Yeah, you would think that might come up.
It might come up every once in a while.
It's not like Rogan's bringing on a stand-up comic and they're not making jokes.
Rodgers should just be, we know Rodgers is the number 1.
Okay.
So what are the other 3? Because I guess to your point, like Rodgers is almost like we know sports, everything's going to be talking about it. Sports Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
First take. Whatever Rodgers does, that is a storyline.
Okay.
Right or wrong, that's going to be on there. So I think let's just put Rodgers aside.
Rodgers, Cowboys, and Shador are 3. And then if you want to talk about what's the honorable mention, we can talk about honorable mention. But those are the 3. We know it. We've already lived through it.
Right.
Shador's been a story for a year already. The second we get to late July, we're going to be – do you remember when Tebow ended up with the Jets and we sent – a camera crew there to film every possible rep he took, and we
Practice
would cut
with no
live.
T-shirt on.
He was running shirtless in the rain. Right?
Yeah.
He has no shirt on.
We would cut live to Tebow taking a snap on the goal line against no defense, with no shirt on and no helmet, no offensive line, no defense. We got to cut out to where is Jets camp in New York? I know it's on Long Island, but what's the name of it? Hampstead, whatever.
Let's just say Jets camp.
Yeah, Jets camp. Let's go to Jets camp live.
There you go.
Tim Tebow about to take a snap, shirtless in the rain against no defense at 33% speed.
He looks
Do I need
great.
to see this?
He looks phenomenal.
He does look fantastic with no shirt on. The man is chiseled.
With that being said, we got to hear from the people after that. After Joe takes me to Tim Tebow with no shirt on, we got to hear from the people at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Looking for your top storyline that you'll be tracking in 2025 when it comes to the NFL. Let's go out to talk to one of our favorites in Texas, Jordan, listening to us on Sirius XM. Jordan, welcome to Joe and Q. What you got for us?
Hey, first off, whoever answered the phone, he wasn't excited because he didn't know it was me like Cam does. I feel like I talk to y'all more than my wife. Y'all talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. That's number 1. Number 2, George Pickens is going to have a breakout year, and then the surprise is going to be Jaden Blue is going to be your day 1 starter, and Dak Prescott's going to light it up. Hear me out, Bubba. We're going to win a playoff game this year. Love you guys.
Jordan in Texas right there listening to us on Sirius XM. So he's just all in on the Cowboys. That is his number 1 storyline. So we had the Cowboys in our ranking there.
Yeah, we did. And, of course, you got some lunatic calling up right away, talking about winning a playoff game this year. Your season win total in Las Vegas is 7.5. That's what the bookmakers think of you. You can wager if you'll have more than 7.5 wins or less. For comparison's sake, Kansas City is 11.5.
I like the fact that he called out Pickens is going to have an incredible year, talked about Blue having an incredible year, and that they're going to win a playoff game. Bubba, trust him. That's Jordan.
Pickens is going to be a story. That's going to be a story real quick, too.
That's going to be a story.
Dallas is going to be a great story this year.
That is going to be
What about Jackson Dart in New York? How quickly are we going to turn our attention to New York and start the whole, hey, is Jackson Dart ready to go? What are we waiting for? We do have the whole Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart component with Dable and Shane on the hot seat in New York, the biggest market of all in America, coming off this Knicks run. Like, I feel like the Giants are going to step into that spotlight rather quickly this summer.
Yeah, I agree, especially with their schedule. It's really tough to start the season. You can see them going 0-3, 0-4, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, when is Jackson Dart going to be in? Right? They're already done. Russell Wilson ain't him. Jameis Winston ain't him. When is Jackson Dart going to start? So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be the when is the rookie going to get in there? Can he save the job for Brian Daboll, or is Brian Daboll already out? Right? I mean, look, there's so many scenarios that the Giants could take us down, so many different storylines that we could follow when it comes to the Giants alone. Daboll and his coaching, right? I mean, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart watch. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios I feel like is in play for the Giants, so that'll definitely be a storyline to follow as well. He's Joe Fortenbaugh, Q Myers. It's Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Coming up, how are twin brothers Eagles and Cowboys fans? What? It's Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and SiriusXM Channel 80.
In on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when they make their first $10 wager. All you have to do, download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ, Joe Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. The offer is not available in the great state of New York.
Today on SC Plus, streaming exclusively on Disney Plus.
SGA and OKC. Okay, Larry, lot of letters. One win away from the NBA Finals.
Caitlin Clark is hurt. We have the answers for how long she's out for the Fever.
A historical race happening yesterday as well, featuring Chassé, Ortiz.
Fondue it. All that and more today on SC Plus.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's holy pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm Christine Lisi. 2 playoff Game 4s on the schedule tonight, 1 in hoops, 1 in hockey. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers host the Knicks, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Indiana's top defender, forward Aaron Nesmith, game-time decision due to a sprained ankle. He started all 13 games for the Pacers this postseason and has been the primary defender on New York guard Jalen Brunson. Indiana's got a 2-1 series lead. On the ice, Stars down 2-1 visit the Oilers' Game 4 NHL West Final, 8 Eastern, ESPN. Dallas standout forward Rope Hintz hoping he can return from a lower leg injury. NFL Bills running back James Cook not in attendance for the start of voluntary OTAs today. Cook coming off his best season, entering the final year of his contract, seeking an extension. GM Brandon Beane has reiterated Cook will be ready to go for the season.
The Oklahoma City Thunder have stolen a game in Minnesota and have taken a 3-1 lead.
Well, you're not going to beat a team like this if you're certainly turning it over 20-plus times and letting them have a bunch of second-chance opportunities.
You just can't play with the ball around them. Like, everybody on the team is handsy. And like Coach said, got to pick one way and go.
They know how to beat us. We know how to beat them. It's just about going out there and doing it, and who wants it more. This isn't the formula to get it done, and I think that's the most important thing to take away from tonight.
NBA playoffs, they're on ESPN Radio. Make sure you catch postseason